What is up, y'all? It's your boy, Arky. And today we'll be discussing My Hero Academia, Chapter 304. Why do I sound like David Attenborough? Because I can. Now, today with me, we have Bishop Ponzu.
Let's go!
We have Bishop Squid.
This is his little friend, quote, Tony Montana.
And we have Archbishop East.
Yo, baby, it's undefeated of the East. Are you ready to kick it?
All right, so this is our starting lineup. And if you would like to learn more about My Hero Academia and the historical context of which Horikoshi is referencing within his writings, make sure you watch my video on the Om Shinrikyo and MHA and how Japan's most deadly cult ties into the League of Villains. All right.
Thanks. That was a great video. Man, I loved it.
Hey, I just wanted an excuse to talk about that dude getting chopped up and his teeth crushed with a hammer.
Man, I thought the symbolism with Gitan when he got his fingers cut.
Yep. Like, there's a lot. I intentionally reduced how much I talked about in that video just because I was gonna end up having to do a segment on All Might plus a segment on World War II stuff. And I was like, no, this is getting to be too big. It was gonna end up being like a 50-minute video. So I was like, I'll just do those other two videos.
You could do part 1, part 2, man. You could have done this.
Oh yeah, because I'm gonna end up making it all a playlist, and then that playlist will just be My History Academia, and then it'll be a combination of all the videos that I've got that tie in Japan's actual history with My Hero Academia content. So
okay.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah. So don't worry, I'm not leaving that. I'm not leaving anything behind.
Good. We might join you. I'm planning to make a video with Squid here. Yeah, in the year. So
Ooh.
the video about his paper that he wrote about the social economic background of My Hero Academia.
Oh, that was like 60 pages.
Yes, we're gonna make some parts of it, and we're gonna tie in through with Aniki's work. So yeah.
Yeah, I technically just gave you guys even more fuel.
yeah, man.
Y'all ready to jump in? I know the people waiting, man.
Oh, the people ready?
We got 33 already.
Oh yeah, we already had 33. So yeah, that does mean I can kind of.
Okay, guys, you know what to do. Like the stream. We are with 37 people. We got 13 likes. Show your love when you come on the stream directly, and have fun in the chat.
Yeah, 300 right now.
Almighty Brandon.
Here, because you're trying to read the shirt. It says because Hogwarts doesn't accept FAFSA. It's yeah. There you go. All right, chapter 304 of My Hero Academia. Let's get it.
I told you niggas. Oh, what the hell?
Okay, what happened?
Aniki, we can't hear you.
Aniki,
we can't hear you.
Aniki is mute.
He muted himself.
Aniki!
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
What the
All
fuck?
right.
I was like, shit.
Bet. I'm like, why? I was like, why can't they hear me all of a sudden? All right. Bet. Now we can properly start.
Mm-hmm.
That was weird. I should not have randomly muted, but okay. So I can feel one for all within the boy, but only very faintly. And we see Deku's passed out. How's everyone faring? Aizawa Sensei, Gran Torino, Kachan, Ida, Ryukyu, Endeavor, Todoroki, Hado, Togata, Rakluk, Manuel. Please be okay, everyone. Before you wake up, we gotta have a chat.
Whoa!
His panel so fucking
Oh no!
Izuku Midoriya and Toshinori Yagi. Hold on. I gotta zoom in real quick.
Bro, this shit so fucking OD, bro. Oh my god.
Okay, so
Kings and Queen. Oh no!
I'm a little worried about the comment, the turtle quirk stuff now.
Hey, listen. What? That confirmed it right there. That shit bogus. That's not the same. That's not the same haircut whatsoever.
It's the gauntlets though. That's what worries me.
Oh man, that was one of the ones that got debunked, man. I had more faith in you than this. Come on now.
Hold on. Well, I'm on like the second and third page, so that's probably why I'm a little worried. Because I don't need that.
The question is, why are they fat like our child being like corn? You know, when you punish a child, you have to at home. We do that to my sisters when they do bad stuff. Go face the wall, look at it for 5 minutes, and don't move. That's what they do, bro.
Sorry to force this on in such trying times. Hold on. Actually, let me make sure I'm not accidentally leaving anybody in limbo. Actually, yeah, y'all be on the lookout for anybody stuck in the waiting room. Since I needed to put that back in to get the Zoom not freak out. Sorry to force this on you in such trying times. Facing the wall. This too is destiny. Nah, just a matter of timing. My esteemed colleague Banjo has already spoken to you about this. Nana didn't say anything.
Yep.
The Toshi ghost, which I like the fact that All Might's ghost isn't like still set yet. All the predecessors are with me in a dream again. Before, we could only interact with you by weaving through the interstices of your flickering consciousness, but that limitation no longer exists. About 4 months ago, my power, that is to say, One for All, began growing rapidly. Along with that growth, the vestiges of the predecessors within One for All took on more solid forms, and they are now able to communicate with each other.
Whoa.
Ooh. In the earlier battle, my brother's power drew us out by sheer force, allowing us to appear before you more easily than before. Don't worry though, kiddo, we'll still give you your privacy when you need it. Oh, right, you ain't got a mouth. But wait, back there. I did manage to speak then. My mouth has formed just a little bit. Oui. Welly? What you need to tell me? The fourth user stands up. Allow me to explain. And we got the classic JoJo loom. I am the fourth. My name is Hikage Shinomori. In your last battle, you drew on my power without meaning to. Danger sense. Yeah, that came as a shock to me. Ori, I get the sense that it would have been better for you to discover danger sense in a better setting. That was well said. Shinomori here was a weirdo who shunned modern society for the life of a hermit. Mine was a terrible era. They were the weirdos, not me. Do you? Wow. Yo. Okay, I like it. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, them niggas funny as fuck, dog.
Banjo is. I told you, Banjo. In my theory, I told you that Banjo has like this Spider-Man quirkness. You know what I mean? Like, and you see that here. He has this humor of Spider-Man. I love that. I really love that. Oh man.
No, this is genuinely funny. Like,
Nah, Banjo's the best user, bro. That nigga funny as fuck.
Happen to know.
The first to be too dramatic, for my opinion.
Well, my thing is that I love that danger sense is literally allowing him to like precog dodge everything too.
Yes.
Ori? You died at 40, not sure what killed you. I just want to honor the dialogue. Mm-hmm. It wasn't written in All Might's notes, or rather, it was like he wrote something but erased it. I died of old age. Oh. Old age? He was only 40, though. Banjo and I had no way of knowing my cause of death until Yagi told us after some research. I'll get straight to the point. As of now, One for All cannot be wielded by an ordinary person.
Whoa!
Keep going.
Huh?
Keep going.
I possessed One for All, the second longest, only after Yagi. For 18 long years, I evaded All for One and devoted my life to building up power. From the moment I inherited the quirk, I knew I could never defeat that villain, so I decided to spend my turn, so to speak, amassing further strength. In my final years, these cracks appeared on my body. I thought it was an unknown disease of some sort, or that perhaps I hadn't trained hard enough. But when Yagi dug up my medical history and autopsy report, the truth became clear. I say I died of old age because possessing multiple quirks effectively ate away at my very life. Or life? Oh, your life. No way. But hang on a minute. One for All only grew stronger after your time, Shinomori. Wait. And All Might, wait, is this all? Okay. Is it okay? Yeah, so it's all his dialogue. One for All only grew stronger after your time, Shinomori, and All Might managed to hold on to it for much longer. That brings us to what we must tell you. When Yagi realized that possessing One for All places a terrible burden on the body, he thought the same thing. The others never held it for long, and since they died in battle, Yagi's only other point of comparison was himself, which is why he thought about what Shinomori had that he himself lacked. All Might was quirkless. Yes, Yagi still lives, but the knowledge he gained was passed to us via the shade in here. He couldn't be entirely sure, so he didn't tell you, but what my brother said confirmed it. He spoke of how a person's essence is hardwired into the quirk factor, but then why would Yagi still appear here when he never had a quirk of his own? All this time, we believe that the raw spirits of us predecessors resided within One for All, but in truth, those fragments of consciousness came about with the quirk factors of the second through seventh successors. That is what One for All contains. Yagi is the sole exception. Only he imbued One for All with a true piece of his consciousness. A vessel with an existing quirk of its own could not receive One for All without warping and spilling over, and attempting to force it anyway results in a shortened lifespan, as the fourth experienced. For 40 years, Yagi maintained his grip on One for All. It was a perfect fit for his previous empty vessel, and as such, it truly became his quirk. By some twist of fate, this power that must pass from one to the next wound up being meant for those who lack power to start with. They are the ones who can draw out its true value. You mean, especially now that the predecessors' quirks are manifesting, I definitely can't pass this on to a normal person.
Yes.
One for All can't be transferred anymore. That's what you're saying. Quirkless individuals have all but vanished in your generation, and you're unlikely to come across another who needs such power. None of us knew any of this at the time, but as fate would have it, it passed into his hands and then yours. If only we had found a way to interact with the wielder sooner. So much pain and suffering could have been avoided. You get it now, kiddo? You might be the last wielder of One for All. I could be the last one? That's the real issue. Now, Izuku, tell me, can you kill Tomura Shigaraki?
Let's go!
Time to
Let's
get
go!
I can.
Whip it and stir
Hey,
it.
Aniki,
Whip it and stir it.
Aniki, Impanzu, did I lie to you? Did I lie to you?
Hold on. What did I talk about yesterday, though? July 6, 2018.
What did he speak?
Shoko Asahara, the historical figure that Tomura Shigaraki is based on, was hung. As in, not with a big dick, but like, he was literally hung, as in killed via hanging. So, now we're talking about killing Tomura Shigaraki. Also realize this, the same year that Deku got Blackwick was the same year that that Shoko Asahara was executed. That nigga was literally hung. And then Hori went, all right, let me give Deku a rope. Think about that.
Yeah. Right now, when we think about this,
Man,
so Shigaraki. So the way that she talk about Shigaraki, that if she want to kill Shigaraki, it should be because is will be Shigaraki still under control of All for One or not? That's my
No,
question,
listen,
man.
but because they already know Shigaraki is pure evil. All for One doesn't have anything to do with this. You could take All for One out the equation, and Shigaraki will still do what he does.
Yeah,
Because
fact.
they know already that he's pure evil incarnate, and that he surpassed that. They sense that. They know that he's a demigod. He needs to go. Endeavor acknowledged that. Miracle acknowledged that. Aizawa, Eraserhead, like Exodus, they all acknowledge this nigga is a threat that needs to go. So the question is, the person that needs to take down the Quirk, which we've been known as, is Deku. And now they're asking the question, can you kill this nigga? Because it needs to go. It ends here. This is the end of the line for both. One for all for one. The Quirk.
Man, yeah, but the thing about Deku's trying to be his character is written in a way that he's like the perfect hero. You know what I mean? When I said perfect hero, is that he's like the guy that will save you, try to save you, give you the chance. You know what I mean? Do everything to help you, even if you're like a villain. It's like Superman saying in some comics of even in some stories, man, you don't have to do it. Like after beating your ass, he just always come back to you saying, man, you can do better than this. Take my hand, please. You know what? How many times you see that he did this to Luthor in Justice League, the animation.
I want to touch on your point after no Google. We super chat for no Google. Thank you.
Oh wait, let me hit up this super chat real quick because I might wait. Is this yet another L for the people saying Deku doesn't deserve one for all? I'm not surprised.
All right, so listen. What we got? So what? Let's see the headcanons we got out of here. We got Deku didn't deserve all for one. We got Deku had a Quirk, get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
We have the Bakugo time travel theory is out of here because it never made sense in the first place without Horikoshi going on his way to make it harder upon himself. That is not Bakugo's
real quick,
hair.
I'll be right back.
All right,
okay.
That is not Bakugo's hair color whatsoever. That getting that the fuck out of here. The Kirishima one is also out of here. And this should be another one another theory that we also got out of here. But bro, he really knocked down like 4 or 5 garbage ass headcanon theories out the paint, bro. I'm so happy.
And yeah, Horikoshi's killing your headcanons. He's like he's just saying, man, I'm writing my story. If you're not happy, move. If you're happy, stay on the ride.
Exactly, bro. I understood in NBA that it was all for him. Like he's writing the story how he sees fit. It doesn't matter how anybody else does. He's not appearing to nobody, villains, nobody headcanon. One super chat for Siobhan Robinson. Now, is she talking about killing Shigaraki the persona or physically killing him? What do you mean? From what the difference is, it's actually
I know
this, it kind of if you okay, you got it. If she's talking about the persona as in one for all, the thing, and
no, I will tell you. She talks about the character Shigaraki, Tomura Shigaraki. You know what I mean? How she's talking about All for One, because that I think that's my headcanon that is his name. You know what I mean? That he gave his name, but I don't think so. I like more that it is his brother's name. But yes, you know what, Almighty, you know what I think. But the thing about it is that Shigaraki, the way that he's built, and the way that he's being just portrayed, Nana accepted that he has to end her bloodline. If it is true, she's a hero. She sacrificed her family for being a hero, and it is in character to do that, in my eyes. Yeah.
What's crazy about that for me is that it's a recurring theme. Specifically, Nana constantly has to give up stuff. It in a lot of ways, to me, Nana feels like the most tragic user of One for All because she's the one who has to give up the most. And obviously, Hori could decide that Deku has to give up more than her, but it just seems like her theme is that the same character, like the character who's like, oh, you always have to be smiling, is also the one that we see go through the most misfortune and have the most karmic backlash. She's like, yeah, always be smiling. Even when you have to give up your son, even when you have to even when you lose your husband, even when you have to she keeps having to do that. And I think it's interesting that since we've gotten Vestige Nana, we actually haven't seen her smile at all.
Yeah, it's actually smiling was more a facade than anything else. It's more of a tool of public assurance.
Yeah, to ease the people's pain, because you're almost like, yeah, even though I'm weak, I can't really show the fear of the weakness going into me. But to talk about the persona, it's no longer a persona. Tenko died long ago. That person is never coming back. Like there's no longer Shigaraki isn't a persona. Tomorrow Shigaraki is an actual person. Just because he wasn't born today, that doesn't mean that's not the person he became. Like this what like really reread this arc and the points for Shigaraki, Horikoshi was like, not only did he already state there's no redemption for Shigaraki, he said Tenko could have been redeemed, but Shigaraki no. But he didn't want to spoil the ending. But because that nigga's evil incarnate now, he's not going back. But it's just simple the fact that he literally denied everybody in his dreamscape, his death, his purgatory scape, and said, "Deny me no longer. Don't reject who I am," and walked into the darkness with off one to attain the power of evil.
Yeah,
The next king. He literally said that like all that past shit, he doesn't care anymore. That was Horikoshi like, y'all think, and then people's like, well, if he meet Nana, he find out off one manipulate this and he doesn't care. Just because All For One did the shit he did, doesn't mean Shigaraki chose to kill his family. He chose to do that shit and kill his father. And All For One didn't say, hey, you random people, don't go helping this young poor boy. Those people chose to do this ignorant ass shit and be that and cause what they got going on now. He came back later and he taught this nigga embrace what you feel like, embrace it. So like there's not All For One is not as people. He's not the entire reason Shigaraki is the way Shigaraki is. Like eventually, that nigga would have been on the street the rest of his life, and he would eventually snap on somebody because he probably would have ran into those bullies again, and he probably would have killed them on his own because he wouldn't have kept suffering. I promise you.
also something that I'm like looking at with this though. Sorry, let me not derail off the Shigaraki point because that's like really good. It's just that this One For All, or like my brain is like,
yeah, that shit is. Yeah, go ahead, like the chat, please.
And what I like the most about this stuff is that we didn't talk about the others people quirk. We just talk about the quirk that he got for the moment. If you really see that, the people that interact with Deku were the one that the quirks that he got. So we get the first one, the banjo, the sixth, the sixth, no, the fifth, and you got the fourth one. The sixth one talked, but after that he said nothing.
Oh, his name is by the way, his name is Rukuro. Since everybody has the name and a number for their user, his name is Rukuro.
Also, I'm gonna say that the way you end up being depicted in this is partially dependent on how you feel about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got Mukuro here, or number 6, sitting here like with both arms. So I'm gonna just point out that matters because he didn't have his arm when he gave away his quirk.
Yeah. Yeah, the man. Yeah, he like for the moment we see him with his.
And he's the one, and he's clearly like the other thing that I like about this is that detail that he was really young.
Yeah.
Because you see, he's the only one that's got like his feet on the chair too.
Yeah. He has the drip. He has the L drip. The L position.
Yeah, that's what they was calling that nigga. I love that nigga, boy. I love that nigga.
I really love him. Yeah, like in my theory, I told to people that he was more the kind of guy that looks like the guy who's like being like the AG one, AG Solitude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With his color patterns, and we see that here, the way that he acts. Even when he talks, he just talk once in the world stuff. That he's more like an introvert. I really dig that stuff about him. The fourth one, I love what Horikoshi did with him, really. So the fact that he took upon himself to make it better, to make the quirk better. That's what. Not only the weekend search for strength. You know what I mean? So thing I forgot what is his name. All Might said that in that chapter when he talked to Bakugo, not only the wicked search for strength, and that's what he did. Literally, he took on himself, because the time that he was a hero, it was difficult for his quirk, so he took his time to just make the quirk stronger, training himself in the woods and stuff like this. You know what I mean? I really like that.
But the best pose in all of the chairs is Banjo.
He's my guy, bro. Really, look at him. The drip, the position.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at the hands clasped.
Almighty, yeah,
Wobbly.
Almighty Fish Mix. What about the users with their faces to the wall and our thoughts? Listen, it don't matter. I don't know why they have that, but it's not Bakugo because that's not Bakugo's hair color.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go. It's not his hair color. You can let it go, and that's damn sure not Kirishima next to him. You can really let
Like I told
let it go, bro.
Like I told you guys in my theory that the second and third one were maybe villains or were borderline on the gray zone. That's maybe white that have everybody on that are sitting in the chair are people that have went for the hero route. You know what I mean? These people went for the hero route. They took on themselves in kind of way being a hero. He took on himself the fourth one to took the responsibility to make the Quirk better for better future. We have Nana, who inspired the philosophy about having a smile to All Might. We got the first one who started all. We got the sixth one. Maybe I don't know what the sixth one was, Rokuro. And we got Banjo, who was a hero in action, really, in his time.
Wait. I have something even like super important to talk about now.
Yes.
Yeah, I got to do the super chat because it's the GOAT Siobhan, first of all. You know, like Siobhan always out here.
You know, Siobhan, we love you.
So first off, First off, what Siobhan says is the most damaged people smile the most, and I really hope that Jorge doesn't take the bait with the time travel nonsense. And then Jorge Valdez said, aren't those black scars the same as Shigaraki's? And they are similar to the cracks that ended up opening up in Shigaraki's face, which means that those black lines, those black cracks are a byproduct of are genuinely a byproduct of your body not being able to deal with the surplus quirks.
Yes.
Listen, JSP, bro. Chill out.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, you got it.
All right. So one argument I heard was that it wasn't from the quirk, it was from the stabilization, but that makes no sense because the stabilization is needed for you to handle the multiple quirks impact. Thus, it has to come from the quirk itself because stabilization is needed to handle it. So it's it's pretty obvious that the cracks are coming from his inability to handle the quirk, not that his body wasn't stabilized.
Okay, I'm lost.
He literally said,
wait, because I want to talk about this thing that I just finally did math for.
Okay.
So, fun fact, the advent of quirks, we now know at most would have lasted 143 years.
Yes, because he was for 40 years. He lived 40 years.
So All Might, well, no, because All Might specifically has the quirk for about 40 years. Let's say he gets it at 16 and he's 56, 57 now.
Yes.
So that's about 40 years. But we know the next longest tenure is 18. So that brings us up to 58 years of the quirk advent, right? But since nobody else lived as long as him, even if we do the maximum and give all the other users 17 years of life with one for all, the most you come away with is 143.
But
so keep in mind though that we would have started with the first user. So realistically, not everybody lived 17 years. Not everybody had over 10 years. Not number 6, definitely. So you would have to hack off some years because we would know that people died, but all for one obviously was.
Let Ian in, please.
Okay.
You got 10 minutes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Welcome, Evan. Yeah.
Actually, yeah. So you think about it. You would have yes, All for One would have been alive before this happened, but objectively speaking, the shorter lifespans that we already compensated for by inflating One for All's time means that the advent of quirks have only been around for 140 years or less.
Indeed. Hey, did somebody say Izuku Midoriya is back in the manga? That means I have to show up.
Wow. So we are not good enough if Izuku is not here, bro. That's painful.
How you guys been?
Great.
Great. Also, Ian, you came in at the end there. That was me doing a mathematical breakdown on the advent of quirks. Do you need me to rehash that real quick for you, or do you not care? Or did you get it?
It sounds interesting, but I can literally only be here for 10 minutes. So I figured I would just give my thoughts and go.
Yep. Give your thoughts, Ian. Also, quick, real quick. Andrew Lalavar with the super chat. Since volume 31 most likely ends with chapter 305, I wonder how Hori ends the next volume. Also, I wonder what Hori does with Deku's character next chapter. Boom. All right. Also, quirks coming from aliens is on my list of potential theories, but we'll get into that in the quirks is a disease video. All right, Ian, go.
Yeah. Well, that guy had a good segue for me, which is that, I'm especially really excited for next week because I like that this chapter, Horikoshi was just like, all right, bam, here's information, boom, 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 answering this question, basically debunking these theories and that theory, like Deku secretly has a quirk, done. No, like obviously it was done before, but now it's like completely gone. All Might has a secret quirk, done. Not a thing. Explaining how is it that before Shinso had to be the one to like get us into the dream world and you couldn't talk to us, but then during the war arc for some reason the first user was just talking like it was nothing. It's because of the singularity and the quirk growing through the months, and Deku's at 45%. Good. So like there's just a bunch of stuff that this chapter I really like that it rapid fire explains. But then what I especially love is that next week is going to be basically characterizing Nana and Deku, because Nana, she held her tongue the whole chapter so she could ask this question of like, hey, what are you going to do about Shigaraki? Can you kill him? And I appreciate that we're getting to that now, because that's going to allow, for one, give us a clear direction on where Deku's character is going. But two, it just answers that question that I think a lot of fans were thinking about. Like, okay, sure, you want to save him, but like, do you comprehend the fact that what if he can't be saved, or what if you need to put him down, or things like that? And so we're having the can you kill the Fire Lord conversation right now. Yes. And I really appreciate that, because I don't want that. I didn't want like Deku's direction as a character to be postponed. So I'm really glad that we're getting that right now. But as far as the chapter, next week. But as far as the chapter itself, I really think it's hilarious that Horikoshi told the first or the second and third user they had to stand in the corner. That's pretty good. I like that everyone here gets their own chairs. That's pretty cool. And I just like all the details. I really like seeing young All Might. I really like Deku reflecting on Night Eye, and like how they talk about like maybe if we had known this information earlier, we could have prevented certain lives being lost. That's just Horikoshi constantly pulling back on these character threads and these the weight that's on Deku's shoulders. And now we're adding even more weight with the fact that no, Deku, at no point can you run away and just give this quirk away. You have to complete One for All. You have to be the one to have this responsibility. And of course, I love making my boy suffer. So the more responsibility, the better. So
that is one of those things that like I always found funny, is that you're very pro Deku suffering. You'll be like, Deku's my favorite character. He's the best. Blah, blah, blah. And also, I need him to have much pain and sadness.
I mean, because his whole life is... Yeah, go ahead, Ponzu.
I will just add to this. It's normal. When you love people, you love to punish them. You love to make them become, it's pain that make people stronger and make them grow. You know what I mean? It's through pain that we become,
yeah, and that's the thing I love about Deku, is that his whole character starts just being in the dumps. So like the fact that every time he like he like takes one step, he either takes two steps back, or he has another thing that he has to deal with, or another thing he has to deal with. Oh, sure, you saved Koda and you inspired him. Yeah, sucks to suck. Now you have to switch to fighting with kicks, and you have to rewrite your entire fighting style. Oh man, it's really great that you were able to use like 100% and fight Overhaul. But yeah, sure does suck that you had to rely on a child and your like nearly dead mentor to do it. Get good, kid. And I just love it, because then he always overcomes it eventually. So that's why I'm always pro suffering my characters.
Nah, man. Somebody said this nigga.
Just ain't fight back.
Somebody said they saw the second and third user, they lost their musical chairs. That's why.
Look, honestly,
yo, that shit funny as fuck, boy.
This would be like, okay, this sounds weird, but it would actually amuse me if it was something that simple that decided who got to like talk to Deku first. Like there was a Vestige game of musical chairs.
Yeah,
and those four won. And that was decided like when they like first started coming out, and that's the real reason those two have been in shadows this whole time. They lost the musical chairs round like months ago.
And they
Like
can
that
blame-
game
and they-
decided everything.
and they can blame Deku for it because the more percentage he gets, the more the room fills. So it's like, Deku, if you were at 60%, we'd have more chairs. Get good, kid.
They
No,
can't say
I
that
also
thing.
like-
You see like a note, like an airplane, like a paper airplane slide to Deku and shit. He's like, they just like looking at the corner. They glare back. It's like, advance the court, nigga. Get stronger.
Possible.
I bet that
I
told you
basically-
guys why they're like they have like
There's
the
a
face.
chair in
Because
this
they-
panel. There's a chair for all of them. 1, 2, 3,
Yes.
4, 5.
But they don't want to talk to Deku. They don't want to talk to
No,
Deku.
the other two chairs have broken legs and they're props.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're just there so it looks like we have it all together.
No, no,
uh,
no,
I think it's more likely that they were villains, but for jokes, I'll say they lost musical chairs.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
No.
This is the thing about Deku suffering, y'all. You not finna be no greatest hero with bare minimum loss. You gonna have to rise up all the fucking way up to beat the match what All Might did. All Might put down 40 years of work and struggle. Lost his master, had to grind in the thing. You not finna have in the special shit Shigaraki going through. You're not finna just trinkle up there, happy go lucky. Like you're not finna win at this stage in life, bro. Y'all didn't lose shit, honestly. Like, what did you really lose? Like Torino finna die, yes, but other than that, y'all in the mud, but you didn't lose anything personally besides like Midnight. You gonna need to actually suffer to like really rise to the top. Matt Shigaraki as one of the greatest villains. Like you're not finna skate by all this shit, boy. You got to earn your stripes. Yeah, you scrap
Also
now
want-
with some other niggas, but no.
I mean, Michael Jordan had to have that flu game, so it's like you can't get out without any stripe. Like that's just not possible.
Yeah, you got
Greatness
to.
I-
is defined by
I also like that they basically confirmed that they're using All Might as like their computer to like to basically be
Yes.
like, what can All Might see right now? Let's check the All Might monitor.
Everybody's
okay.
just standing
Oh.
over there.
What this also kind of does, though, is that if you remember, I always said that All Might wouldn't be able to have a proper vestige.
Yeah, they addressed that for you.
Yeah, like it doesn't look like he gets a proper vestige. He gets a piece
Yeah.
of a vestige. Like,
So we can't talk to Deku at the end, probably.
yeah, he might not ever be able to properly talk to Deku. So
I-
the final Sensei conversation might end up. So now that is an excuse to let All Might live for a while.
That's just more
Yeah.
Deku suffering. Yes.
Yeah, no, there's the thing about it. I think the moment that he will die, that's when he will join this stuff. Like it's more like it will become more spiritual stuff. You know what I mean? But next to this, I did not want to show his face. Yeah, because I took more. I am in a great week. I'm in a great week, so I had to show my face today. So the thing about it, the thing about it is that the fact I love the way that that Horikoshi presented the second, the third user of One for All, because he could have just make them their seats empty. You know what I mean? The fact showing their absence, but he purposely showed them like back there on the wall, looking like punished kids. Because they went off the right road, because they went off the right way, and it is just so good. Just little stuff like they're punished. Why? Because they were not on the justice road. You know what I mean? They were the LA. This one I love because it's also logical that the first people that could have the quirk were villains, because from what we saw, the brother was always locked up in his room, in his prison, like Orphan put him. So the people that maybe bonded with him was the second one. The second user, One for was just like a villain. It worked for All for One. That's just. Oh man, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what Horikoshi does with this. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's what we love making theories, because there is so much possibilities, guys, and it's so amazing. What this chapter brings kills headcanons, kills theories, and it is amazing to be today, really. And I'm a happy man. Deku is on the way to become one of the best main characters on Shonen Jump in a few years. So yeah,
I guess there's one thing I can gush about Deku in the chapter, because he's mostly just getting information. But I appreciate that, like, he's like, oh man, all my favorite people I'm worried about, like Gran Torino, Kachan, Endeavor. Ryukyu, and then it's just like manual Rock Lock's like, man, Deku, you care about everybody. I love you.
Yeah, he's a genuine good guy. Even he knows that these people didn't have like, hey, were like hurt, like physical, like the other ones, but he just put it there because he cares deeply about people. Sometimes
and I just
more
like that
than
that's
himself.
I just like that that's the first thing he thinks of. So it's just nice.
Yes.
Does Nana have a different outfit, or am I tripping?
What do you mean? I don't see.
Because it like, I just didn't remember it being like as like black as it is for the whole middle section. Maybe I'm just remember. Maybe it's just because I can't see the cape, so that's not like contrasting as much.
Well, what we see in this chapter, you can kind of project yourself as you please because the sixth has 2 arms.
Oh yeah, we talked about that too, Ian. I don't know if you were here.
Siobhan,
Oh, okay.
again.
So it's like maybe it's different, but it's like that's what she wants to wear. That's what she wants to wear. No biggie.
Okay, that's interesting. All right, cool.
Okay, Siobhan saying all I'm saying is just don't be surprised when Deku gets healed by One for All. How else is his arms going to get healed other than Eri? I mean,
it's only his right arm that has to be permanently damaged, though.
Yeah.
That's literally it. And also, he's been fighting with kicks the whole series. I mean, like at a certain point in the series. So just continue to do that. Like it doesn't actually change. It doesn't actually like hurt anything about like your action story, because he was already refusing to use his arms except for like very specific circumstances. And even then they like rarely ever worked. Like he punched Bakugo and lost the fight. And then he punched Overhaul that one time and lost that fight. And then it was only with Eri that he was able to punch freely. So it's not like, oh man, how are we going to have the grand punch fights? It's like, well, we've not been having them for a very long time. So it doesn't matter.
I mean, you know,
wait, real quick. And I also want to point out that, because like I'm pretty sure, I feel like we've talked about the fourth and the death thing before and how like,
yes.
But what I will say is that this is 100% counts as like a subversion, because usually like when you have like, oh, number 4, it's going to be like extra heinous. And Horikoshi was like, 4, the culturally super unlucky number of death in my country. And he died of old age.
Yeah, that's anticlimactic. Yeah, that's the way to turn stuff. I love that. I really love that. So the fact that he still used death as something important for the character. You know what I mean? And it shows that you can use tropes. You can use your own culture and make spin on it and make it good. Because yeah, the 4th one died of old age. He was 40 years old. And even the relation between the 5th user and the 4th, I said it in my theory that that maybe the 5th one was like a light for the 4th one. You know what I mean? Like, and we see that they are like they have like kind of duality. You know what I mean? That they're like that you got the quirky one, the one that's more like into himself, and he gave his quirk to him. You know, he was more like a prototype. Yeah. Banjo, even his name Banjo. When you think the name Banjo, what you think? I think of the guitar. You know what I mean? The country guitar. So yeah, he has this.
Yeah.
Also, as Ponzu would say, we had 121 viewers, but only 47 likes. I don't know what's up with that.
Guys, do you hate us? What's happening?
So I have to go. I just had one final question just to get your thoughts real quick. Is so are we in agreement that the life draining thing is separate from the body breaking thing? Because Deku's body, which I'm glad, because that means that everything else before the series started doesn't get like retconned or whatever. So, which means that like it's not that like, oh, Deku, it's not that you just haven't, gotten good enough yet. It's that, oh, don't worry. Like it literally wouldn't have mattered. Like, blah, blah, blah. So that's good. I'm glad that all stays. And that still keeps with like All Might getting the quirk and him saying like he was a natural fit for it. Like that's still a part of like him being, regardless of him being quirkless, that's still a part of like him being good at using the power, being a natural born hero. I just like that while these new things are being added, Horikoshi always likes to, as we saw with the Endeavor chapter, he always goes back and be like, no, everything I told you before still counts, which I appreciate.
We get what he's like. Wow.
So,
okay.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for having me as usual. I hope I can be on more, but you guys take care and have a good day.
Thanks, man. We're always happy to have you here,
Yeah.
Thanks. All right, see you guys.
Take care. To add on what Ian was talking about is like this shit's been talked about since the beginning of the fucking series. And he was like, almost like, yeah, this shit's long past the point of singularity. They keep touching on it back in the remedial course arc with the fucking Shiketsu Meatball Boy. Once again, with them talking about that shit back in us seeing it back in the 4th generation, Quirks not matching the hardware. And I was telling somebody, y'all gotta understand, One for All is literally jumping generations in double timing that. So what was happening to Deku is going to happen to everybody else way down the line in the future. He's literally like let's say we're in the 7th generation, 6th, 7th generation. These niggas are like Deku's literally like the 8th, 9th generation times 5.
You gotta, because I also say like Deku is like, but generation wise, we only on the 4th or 5th.
No, it has to be like the 5th because Ujiko said we seen this back in the 4th generation already.
Yeah,
it'd be at least the 5th.
So
era of All Might.
So part of the issue though is that it kind of depends on how you do generations too, because like for some people generations are like 25 to 30 years. Other people will like count them as only like 15. If we're talking manga, a generation is 15 years or 2 years if you listen to people who think MHA isn't new gen. Depending on how you look at it.
The thing about it, I will tell you, Aniki, I make a research for my theory back then, and is that for what we know, the mom is from the 4th generation. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and she was back then around 30 years old. So, I think that Horikoshi went for the 30s, from the 30s, 30 years old, or like from one generation. So you got Tenko and Tenko and Deku from the 5th generation.
You thought that Inko was like 30 in that flashback?
I'm actually about to pull up her age right now just to check.
She's definitely
30 or 20.
She was like 25 when she
yeah. When you round up 25, it's 30, man. Sorry.
No, it says age 31 first appearance.
Aniki, you heard me right? Aniki, you heard me right?
I think they're talking about now.
Flo was in the waiting room.
Wait, no, I'm wrong. That means she was 27 when she had him then. She was 27.
Yeah. So that's like 25, 30 years per generation. Oh, snap. Yeah, the concept of a generation is pretty vague, but the idea of it, like if she's like the 4th, 5th generation or like born within that span, then the fact that, like I said, objectively, the Quirk advent can't have lasted more than like 140 some years, or at least the era of all for one isn't more than like, hasn't been around and doing shit for more than 130, 140 years, I should say. At some point, people with quirks will probably die in a young age. Oh yeah, definitely.
That's what I was saying. But niggas gonna be like Deku in the future. Like it's literally gonna be like Deku will be a common thing. They're breaking their body just from using that shit.
That's just literally that's what we call the end of humanity. That's what's gonna happen because people are the quirks are evolving in a way that they're too much for the human's body. So people will more and more die young because their quirk they couldn't handle the power of their quirk.
Man, quirks are aliens anyways. The whole reason they're getting too powerful is so they can just take over bodies instead of letting humans exist anymore. It's basically Parasite the Maximum, but with superpowers for everybody.
You're really spoiling the premise here.
Aniki, if you're right, man, I will laugh my ass every time. The first time I will say we have said this today. It is at my place, 18 p.m. 6 p.m. 7 March. 2021. My brother Aniki came in the theory. Quirks are aliens. Da da da.
People have brought it up before, and I'm with it. Like I
can't believe you.
The more I think about it, because I do subscribe to quirks being a disease.
Me too.
A disease. Wait, explain.
Florian, my nigga. Yo. Yep. He came back from the church.
Yep.
To go to the church.
To be at church.
Thank you, man, to correct me.
Being double blessed today.
Yeah.
Double blessed.
I love that. Oh, God protect us.
Yeah, so what's this quirks being diseases thing?
Oh, I've been on the quirks are a disease wave. I ran a poll recently. Like people are like, quirks are the disease. I feel like
we're gonna make memes overall was always right.
Yeah,
So you're
Walken
saying
should
if
get
this
it
was the
anyway.
Incredibles
East.
world.
Who infected them? More like so. If quirks are from aliens, then it'll be something as simple as it's an airborne pathogen that struck the ground, or it was in a meteor or something like that, and then started passing along. And if it, or it could just be as simple as it's an offshoot of a certain bacterial virus that mice had that warped and that started attacking the cells and DNA. And as people's bodies adjust to quirks to fight them off, they develop powers instead of just resisting the disease. It's like an adaptation.
For Nezu is an alien.
Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but if this was the Incredibles, Anarchy would be Syndrome.
Incredibles.
What? I'm not on some syndrome stuff. It's just
to be super, so no one would. It's like a classic quote of his.
Wait. The chat's getting a little. So yeah, like Overhaul was like it started with rats, and then you see like Destro who had the mice on his jackets and stuff. Yeah, no, don't worry. The cult video that had a bunch of like historical context to back it up. Realize that Quirks being a disease has a lot of Japanese historical context that I'll be applying to it. So we'll see. There's two.
Aniki, I don't know. I'm sorry, Aniki. So Nutfall V just wanted to ask you a question. So do you guys think is the Quirk singularity gonna get solved in the series, or will it be the driving plot of a potential sequel?
Can you repeat the question?
Basically, with Quirks being a disease, if the Quirks or Quirk singularity gets addressed, how are they going to handle it? Or like, do we think it's going to be handled within this like early part of the story? I don't know. My stance on it is kind of that I think Quirk singularity has to be accepted, and I think I genuinely think that Overhaul's like bullets will become seen as a cure over time.
Word. That'll be interesting.
I mean, Ujiko had found a way to mass produce them. Think about it. Because like whole facilities, like it'd be like those COVID vaccines. You're just getting like millions of dosages, right? And they're shipping it out, and everyone's just getting vaccinated.
Well, I think it'll end up mostly being for people who like have quirks like Shigaraki, where they're like, yeah, I want to kill everyone. And they're like, yeah, what if we just stop that? And they're like, yeah, that'd be cool.
But my question is that his quirk that demands he kills everyone, or is it just a need for destruction in general?
The thing about it is that I'll tell you how I see it. Quirks has so a big influence on the users, on the people, that they can detach their identity to their quirks. You know what I mean? So stuff that they think that they do because it is us, it might be their quirk, but yeah, it's just them too because they see the quirk as part of themselves. So yeah, it is him.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, like, what about people like with the quirks that they're like born with it. They can't really like Spinner.
Yeah. Because
how would they
his ability to only climb
because I'm doing a video on this and I don't want to like spoil it all, like all the explanations. I do have even a theory that with diseases that explains mutant quirks. So but I want to give you guys a reason to watch that video besides like, just like friendship.
So, the street, guys.
One of my favorite parts of the chapter was specifically the old age bit because one of the Tumblr translators, the name was I think Hashima. I don't know. I can't say the name, but they had translated it, and the direct kanji meant senescence, which meant the ability to produce cells. The rates were slowing down, and What made that interesting to me was in USJ, we knew that multiple quirks caused such an immense strain on the nervous system that it essentially fried their brain. But as this chapter shows, it's not the only drawback. There's degrees for how much burden the body can carry. So I found that very interesting, connecting that piece of text to this one.
Wait, Squid, did you just say cell deterioration? Basically, like as part of the issue.
Yes, that's how. Yes, that's how it was translated.
Yes, perfect. Anyway,
I mean, also, if you want to be really technical, 9 is part of the manga, and he had a prequel that is officially canon. So, and he also had cellular degeneration. So it might just honestly be a legit drawback to having such a powerful quirk or multiple quirks.
Quick question then, because I came in here late. What do you guys think about the chapter?
I didn't hear that either.
I found it good. Shimura was on that Avatar Kyoshi beat.
Yeah, and she needs to, and they need to stay on that wave.
They smoking that Tomura pack.
Anybody else? Because I remember East post something about like Horikoshi. What's up, East? Horikoshi like ruining all these headcanon ass theories and stuff like that. So I thought this was gonna be
he's destroying headcanons left and right, and I
Yeah.
love
it. This chapter, like to
That's
me, the chapter
good.
was beautiful because, like, you know, for years I've been hearing like, oh, he should have gave it to Muriel. He should have gave it to Todoroki. He should have gave it. It was like, oh yeah, but no one said the same logic about All Might throughout the whole years because All Might didn't have a quirk too. But the only reason people didn't say it is because we know the outcome of what All Might becomes, right? He becomes like, you know, extremely powerful, like better than all the previous All for One users. Now we get a better explanation for it.
Oh, that actually is something I wanted to bring up, which is actually really good because I think that's been a question that a lot of people had is why is it that All Might was also quirkless, but he could use this shit so easily, but Deku can't. And they actually explained that here too. I think that was actually very great too.
It has a cup with no water.
Because that shit was that.
A quirk is water.
Oh yeah.
So the thing that bugs me about this though is that like most of us have said this to a lot of those people asking that question before. Like literally, the quirk was less powerful.
Oh no! That's not that. No. I mean, no. I mean, I get that. No, I get that was the explanation. I've always assumed that was the explanation. It's just I'm just wondering exactly why it went from it had such a ridiculous jump, and they got they gave an answer to that. Because it's like I've questioned this for a while too. Because it's like okay. It's not like it was like a plot hole or anything like that. It was just more I was curious about.
What I'm saying though is like BG, like I remember specifically like we have had a conversation about this at some point. And the stuff that's said in this chapter is stuff that we like came to and agreed on like as a conclusion. Like All Might having it so long was why the stockpile was more powerful. All Might doing this, like we all like agreed on that stuff. So it's like for me, it's like confirmation of stuff we've talked about, which I love getting, but I'm also like, okay, now for the love of God, can y'all not ignore like
okay, Siobhan just dropped.
Because I wanted to go on that point too, Siobhan.
Hold on.
So,
here. Siobhan Robinson say.
Look, there's just
goats
that if
Siobhan stays goat.
Okay.
Dr. Ujiko said that if the hardware can't handle the data, it deteriorates or something to that degree.
Yeah, he literally was talking about that to Shigaraki, like we were talking about. Like I said, the quirk singularity thing had tracked since the beginning. This is why Deku is the way he is. Deku's literally a prototype for what's to come for everybody else. He's literally the prime example of what's going to happen in the future when these kids can't keep up with the thing. You've seen how fucking powerful the kids were in a remedial course arc. Like those quirks were OD for no reason. Ain't even be like no one that like, well, okay, some people don't really have fight. No, like all those kids' quirks were raw for no apparent reason whatsoever. They're just that OD. So what happens when their kids come and they combine their quirks with somebody else with different quirks, and then like another 30 years pass, they do the same thing. That shit's gonna like, and then the stronger the quirks get, the more their body can't even handle because everybody even has limitations at this day and age with their quirk. Bakugo has a strain up against his fucking bones if he keeps using his fucking explosions thing. Like there's real science like and logic that applies to the thing, which is one of the reasons why fights still last long because they still have human bodies. At this, like a lot of people still have literal human bodies. Like Like it's like all for one said was like, I mean, yeah, all for one was like, if you fell from this height, nigga, you would still die. Y'all might be like flying in the sky doing that shit like that, but like, yeah, you could throw the bows, but your body ain't non-human at that point, boy. Like you would still have fucking died at that point. That's the thing. And you stop with the sequel nonsense. Like ain't nobody trying to see no damn sequel without Deku. And like they can literally wrap up, like especially if in the mutual agreement at time happens, they can literally wrap up like what goes forward and how to deal with this. There's no point in having an entire sequel just to deal with the Quirk singularity thing.
I really think people. This is just my opinion. I really think people should stop lessen their expectations on there being some like year-long time skip. I really think people should lessen their expectations on that.
Well, I've said before, we time slip in MHA a lot, so it doesn't necessarily add up for us to start just like jumping years at a time. We don't have to do that because My Hero like passes the time through the story naturally.
Well, that's why I'm very confused on this notion that there's going to be a time skip to begin with, because there's been a bunch of time skips throughout the show already. So I'm thinking people are meaning a traditional one. If they're expecting that, I'm like, ooh, that's not happening.
Yeah, because this story isn't written in such a way that one, it doesn't need a traditional time skip where we just jump years, but also, if I'm being honest, the way the story's been written, you can't do a time skip. Like usually, or you wouldn't do a time skip. It would like go against like a lot of the ways that it's been written. So a lot of times with time skips, you have like the Black Clover one recently where the whole point is to like kind of skip past training and discussions on like the politics or like the ramifications. And then you just kind of drop a, hey, this changed over the past 4 years, expository dump in one chapter and go. And My Hero has always been about not only discussing change, but showing the process it takes to make these changes. So it would never make sense within the context of My Hero, I think, to completely just throw away like years at a time.
But that's the thing. But I don't know, that's just like I talked about earlier. That's the thing. Everybody's always to the extreme when everyone wants to meet in the middle with the idea that they don't they don't agree with. It's like you can still balance that even after you could like Shigaraki and take over, right? We don't have to see, all right, Shigaraki standing on top. 2 years later, no, you can still have the effects come through, the characters have their resolution, and then go forward. Because like you said before, there isn't there forget UA anyway. There's no need for a second year, regardless, or a third year, because we have already established what they would be doing, and we've already seen that. Like, there's no second years weren't there for a reason. You know why they weren't there? Because they weren't relevant. Because they already what was going to happen in the second year was they get their license. They said, "All right, villains keep attacking y'all niggas. We need to boost y'all up prior to so you can defend yourself." So the second year was completely useless. Third year they go start training with sidekicks. I mean, they become their little provisional shits and sidekicks and stuff like that. It's like, all right, we already jumped up from that point, so we literally don't have to spend that time. And the thing with this time is like, okay, they're gonna have to pass a lot of time because, and there's gonna have to be some major key players and them reshaping the world because they ain't gonna be no like 16-year-old kids and them like literally changing the shape of the world when they're all still ignorant and shit. Even some of the heroes are still ignorant as to why the fuck this shit is kind of happening. Because I bet you nobody was listening to Shigaraki when he was spitting. They just like, all right, villain monologue, but they don't pay attention, and that's the problem. That's the reason where we at now because nobody pays attention. And you don't need a time. You don't need. I mean, you don't need a sequel to address the Quirk singularity. That nobody need no damn sequel. Nobody want no sequel. What are they gonna do? Skip like 20 years in the future and like, all right, Deku and we solve this case. Like,
I don't.
Well, I mean, I will
mean?
say I'm glad that the fucking officials like corrected that one of those lines from the scans, which wasn't a bad line, but it did kind of had me a little bit confused.
So what was it?
You know, the line where it says that Deku, you it like, you know how it says you could be the last one for all user.
Yeah.
In the scans, it's more definitive. It's saying, no, you are the last one for all user. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense with the explanation you just gave. Because the explanation you just gave made it sound like you're saying that it wouldn't be wise, but the way they phrase it is like you literally can't pass it on. So I'm like, that was more like a contradiction to what they were just saying before.
You have to add, if Deku stacks his own power on top of that, there's gonna come a point when if the 10th user gets it, it will still be unusable even for this one.
Oh yeah. No, of course. Like I get. I mean, like it effectively, it just kind of changes the meaning slightly because one is like you're unable to, and one is more like you shouldn't because it's not. It's a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing though, I kind of feel like we all already kind of were worried. Like we were like, I mean, can somebody else even take this on? Like, and now we know that like first off, if you have a quirk, which also small detail, that means that black whip, float, etc. are all still like the body it recognizes it still as one quirk. That's another thing worth mentioning is that like it's still as far as like the like software data and all that other stuff, it's like one for all is basically a zip file. Whereas Shigaraki getting stuck with the Vestige, which in of itself means that Deku might have been a better host for Vestige for All for One or Vestige for One than Shigaraki.
Yep.
And they had it backwards.
If that's the case, what does that make the other quirks mods?
Well, yeah, kind of.
Expansion packs.
The way I see it, like in terms of like Java language, I see it more like so. One for all is a class, and each individual function is a quirk in that class, rather than each class being its own quirk.
It sounds like you just said that he has one class and he has a bunch of jobs.
Basically, yeah. Like you know how like in Gumball, there's like this one guy who does every job in Elmore. That's basically one for all.
Yes, I know you're talking about.
He's more like Doc and Shu from Avatar.
The thing about it, about the way that
Kyoshi series.
What?
Avatar Kyoshi series.
I can't wait to see that.
That's confirmed.
No, it's not confirmed, but that's a because the first we don't even know when we're getting a series. We're getting a movie first, which I mean we could that could be it.
Well, I wouldn't bank on a movie because they just dropped everything. They left those niggas and made their own studio. So I don't know if they still continue.
Nigga, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, what they were doing at Netflix is a TV show. It's like a live action show.
Yeah, I hope it's stopped in the first season. I hope
Avatar Studios is making a movie.
Is it directed by M. Night Shyamalan?
Plural.
Project.
Well, no. I mean, they might make movies, but I'm saying the first project is a movie, and they're probably going to make shows too for Paramount Plus.
They're going to make the ACU, the Avatar Cinematic Universe.
Anyway, we're getting off topic. The point being is that shit made me happy because of the fact that I've already accepted. I was already not accepted. I've already kind of come to understand, but they're not going to have an ending like this. But earlier on, when this first started reading this shit, I had a whole ass fear that the ending was going to be some generic ass shit where we just do the whole it all comes full circle type beat and he just passed it on to the next person, and that kind of scared me. I was like, I don't want to see that generic ass fucking ending.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, now I know I'm not going to get that good shit.
Wait, so you telling me you wouldn't have liked it if he passed it on to Coda or Ariel or Maharo? Actually,
no, nigga.
This kind of means that Maharo is the only person that, like, of the children that could inherit it, because at least he has a quirk specifically that counters the cell degeneration.
Facts.
So Maharo from the movies could end up being the one that comes in.
We good off that. Just like Shiggy the last nigga. Oh, Deku need to be last.
Actually, I don't know because think about it. Just think about it. They said the explanation that whatchamacallit gave him beforehand was that if he were to pass it on, he's gonna blow his like when he just got it like without training, his arms were blown off. I don't think you can fix that with no cell regeneration unless you can like fucking like grow limbs.
Well, he would train him too, but also One for All would probably enhance his quirk. One for All would probably enhance the power of his quirk. So from that perspective, like it might do that.
Man, the energy that he can One for All contains, that's fucking ridiculous. So his quirk, he could have he might started to regenerate even his head. You know what I mean?
That's still be kind of bad though. Okay, that'd still be pretty bad though, because that means that nigga's gonna die like in 10 years, maybe 5.
Yeah, because that shit's really gonna his cup is gonna break What's happening is he's rebuilding his cup and he's basically putting glue on that shit. Eventually, that shit's gonna fucking break. Like a Quirk is still. Remember, Quirk is still a muscle, bro.
His cup will runneth over pretty fast.
The thing about it is that in a generation of Deku, they have like for the moment we get a population of 20 people, of 20% of people who has no quirks. That's what we know. But these people differ from different generations. You know what I mean? You might have older ones, so they or more older than they are, or more quirk. The people that don't have quirk live. You know, so Deku is one of the only people in his of his age. Might be one of the only people, like not much, that have quirks. So the generation of his kids have the amount the amount of people with quirks will just keep growing. So and the life expectation will drop also. Damn, man, that's literally signal the world is ending, but on a little fire.
You were peaking really bad, Matt.
You know what this calls for?
My bad.
Feel good ink.
I'm just glad that fucking this shit ends with Deku. It's confirmed it ends with Deku. And of course, you don't need to. He literally just said it. You could have had the whole like speculation before, but nah, he literally just told you, "Hey, bro, this shit in here. Like, we done. Good. We good. We don't need no Naruto shit. You passing on this, that, no." He said, "Nah, we good, nigga." He said no more. He said no more sequels. We good, Chief. This shit gonna end it here.
I'm for spin-offs or of like stories like in the second and the third user of One for All, because they look really interesting. These boys, they are punished. So yeah.
Yeah, spin-off's fine. I don't want
a spin-off expanded on characters already established. Story is fine.
Yeah,
I want to know
after that. We don't need
like what they do with vigilantes.
What I want to know.
Miracle spin-off.
What I want to know is why in the hell did he have them niggas standing in the corner? Because I can't see it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we get that question next chapter. We get that question asked next chapter.
And no, BG, I told you, I told you it is because it might be that they straight from the right path. All these people that we see here that are sitting on the chairs are people that have, from what we know, live in the right path. You know what I mean? The second.
I mean, I guess, but my whole thing is, it's not. I'm not literally asking why are they standing in the corner. I'm saying, take them bitches out of the corner. I want to see their face. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but yeah, just Horikoshi playing with us, because what he could have done is literally just make them absence of the seats, but he just put them there just to show you they are there, but they can't say something because they're finished.
Because like I said, I need to see, because what is it? The outfit already looks nothing like Bakugo. Hair is too dark.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listen,
hair's not spiky enough.
Yep.
I'm like, so wait, real quick though, something that somebody said, and I've been in this camp for a while, is that they want the second or third user to be brave.
That's perfect.
And so the other thing about that though is that I would kind of love if Brave was the second or third user.
Who is Brave?
Brave.
He was the All Might before All Might.
Yeah. So
where did we see that?
We never seen his Anarchy speak.
Yeah. When Gentle is monologuing, we get introduced to All for One. We talk about Destro, which we have already met, Redestro, OG Harima.
Facts.
And then, we met OG Harima's descendant. So we've got those three. And then you factor in, we got, for heroes though, what was mentioned was All Might, who we've already seen, Crimson Riot, who we've already seen, and Brave. But Brave was somebody who we didn't even get a silhouette for. So if Brave is like the second or third user, specifically if Brave is the one that's using the gauntlets, that would actually make a lot of sense to me. And it would like kind of highlight, like some people were replicating Brave back in the day, and then like that just became like these gauntlets became like standard par for the course.
Mention these gauntlets.
I understand, but there's the stuff that what if he's
uses.
So what I want Brave, if this is Brave, because these gauntlets are like similar, because these gauntlets do remind me of, I don't know, do you guys remember that poll where we got like the heavy weapons version of a lot of characters?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. These gauntlets remind me of his heavy weapons outfit. That's why these gauntlets bother me. They remind me of the heavy weapons Bakugo gauntlet.
But people can have similar gear.
Right. And that's why like I would kind of love it if we found out that Brave was like another hero like in the line, and then like that just happened to be where some of that inspiration came from. And we just didn't realize back then, or like people didn't realize that he was an one for all user. That would be a good way to like incorporate that myth into the one for all legacy.
Let's talk about this though. Since we're on topic of it being possibly Brave, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't want to hear no squiggling, worming, or bullshit. That is not Bakugo hair color. The nigga didn't dye it. He didn't shade it different. If I go pull up the chapter of Bakugo, last chapter, and Bakugo's hair, and it's crystal, like you can literally see that there's basically no shade in that bitch, and there's shade in homeboy hair. Nigga, that's not Bakugo. Like,
the funny, I feel like people would try to argue like, oh, it's the shadows, but that wouldn't make any sense either because the other nigga is in the same corner, but he doesn't have no goddamn shadows on him.
Like, bro, like,
I heard his Bakugo dyed his hair.
That's a stupid argument though.
The Chantrell 3 go like Eri awaken her quirk randomly, use trigger, and then another machine in order to hone the power. Nigga, she reminds your genetics, not your entire being. Like just that shit is garbage. Horikoshi will have to go out his way to do that shit. Like extra work.
Also, one of the other things though, so the thing that I don't like about that theory is how many hoops you have to jump through to get there.
Yep.
But we've already seen support items, and the items that they're kind of referencing are things like the cosmic treadmill from Flash Comics. So yeah, see, like I heard that you're like, oh, but shit, that is a real thing. And so it depends on like how much. It literally just comes down to how much incorporation of other series and stuff Horikoshi is going to end up doing.
I mean, I still wouldn't agree with that either because then you'd have to question what fucking purpose would you have any of that for?
Hold on, can I argue this point real quick?
Well, yeah, that's like my biggest issue. Like, it would have to be like if Eri were to do that, and this is going to sound weird, it would have to be like a double time travel arc where Eri from the future came to the past to deal with some shit to like set up. So it would have to be like a crazy ass multi-generational.
Like, what the fuck is this? The Runaways?
That's the only way I could justify that.
Okay, look at this. I'm gonna ask everybody this. Does Eri go ahead and just heal Deku right now?
No, she doesn't even got the stockpile to do it.
So can Horikoshi handle Eri as a character? Yes or no?
Of course.
So why the fuck would he go ahead and break her beyond past infinity if he's not even gonna hit an MC to get back in the fight? Like, you would have to literally break your fucking everything. Like him, Eri just getting powers and healing Deku. That's like breaking the consequences and breaking the mold. Every overpowered character still has balance to them. That's just her healing and
the only way this will ever
you
work.
literally have to go way out of your way to literally jeopardize your entire series in your thing. It's like I just
look, keep in mind, I'm just trying to make the theory work. Do I like the theory? Not really. I'm just explaining stuff that like you would have to do, like the steps you would have to take to justify it, even sort of. Because like child Eri getting hopped up on drugs and technology is a tough sell.
And then you like what the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way to really make it work without you having to fucking like come up with like, okay, so what about this? Well, I mean, maybe they can do this. Okay, that doesn't, but that contradicts it. No, but it's because of it. You have to make too many fucking like amendments to the fucking theory for it to even make any sense.
Yeah.
And they already stated they're too far behind to do interstellar travel. Deku even said that like the second chapter is like, had the Quirk shit not happened and society wasn't halted for basically like goddamn 100 years, we would have had interstellar travel. So you mean tell me they somehow gonna do it? They're gonna somehow skip a couple months, or they skip a couple months in a year or two, and all of a sudden they get interstellar travel now? They got that type of technology? Like,
I don't like that you said that.
I like the stream.
Hold on. It's like somebody in the chat was like, those are Genus jeans. And now I'm like, but I'm looking at his outfit and I'm trying to see if it could potentially be an homage to Genus. Because it could, like, it does kind of look like the cutoff
going to
form.
die 140 something
But that
years.
would be wild.
Oh shit.
That would suck.
What are they doing here? Are they really saying that
Or-
Durag is going?
Hold on, Squid, your mic is kind of really low and distorted.
Guys, the thing about the people that say that the sixth one is Quirk, his outfit looks like a genius. Okay, you might find a similar.
All right, is this better now?
But
You're good.
you're good.
Right.
You're good. So you might let me finish, please, Squid, and yeah, I give you the place. So the thing about it is that man that is, for the moment we know that he was a teen and he died as a teen. So, and it happened before all my 40 years of training, before Nana getting the quirk. So, guys, I don't think that because for one we know, Best Genius wasn't born yet. Wasn't born yet. So wasn't born yet when that guy.
No. I think you're missing the idea. I think you're missing the idea here. The idea here would be that this is Bakugo in the future, who I guess who like later on adopts some fucking genius's clothing style, and then
I thought that you were talking about the sixth user.
No. The one in the corner they were talking about.
Okay. Yeah. My bad. Sorry.
The corner boy.
Corner boy.
Yeah, the corner boy. That's a great name, man. That is his name.
You don't know what
I don't.
Yo, Indot's so goated, bro. Indot's so goated, bro.
Wait, Paul, you don't know what a corner boy is, nigga?
No.
So
I thought it just mean that he was cornered. I like that. So,
okay. So my issue with this is
that's what you.
Okay. Also, there's multiple ways you could interpret a corner boy. So, like, let's be real here, because even within that context, there's at least two different versions. One's a lot less common than the other, but it's still on the table for discussion.
Okay, guys, you're using your language barrier to mock me right now. That's not good.
No, I'm not trying to mock you. No, it was more I said it as a joke, and you're like, yeah, that's a good name for him. I'm like, oh
no,
because it's caught us off guard. It was like,
yeah,
we know he was roasted.
In both language that I'm using you every day, Dutch and French, if you call somebody who's in the corner, you can call him like corner boy, literally. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but here, if you're a corner boy, you're either turning tricks or selling drugs.
Hey,
I learned that.
Hey, listen. Yo, listen. Hey. Shout out to JSP Wolf. Thank you, bro. Like, why would Bakugo not tell the past users all the stuff he knows about One for All if he went back in time?
I don't know. They just explained that they literally couldn't talk to each other this chapter.
Like, no, like now, what are they doing?
What are they
doing? No. He would have to go back and pass. Because the second user gave it to the third. The third gave it to the fourth. So nobody said anything to anybody in between this time. Bakugo didn't say nothing to the first user, and then he didn't say nothing to the third. He didn't say shit. They had to meet. I'm not talking about the Vestige war. They had to meet IRL to extend the quirk. They didn't just shoot the alley-oop,
but to be
toss
fair,
it backwards, and they gave it to somebody.
But to be fair, though, remember that most of them niggas passed that shit home when they're about to get murked. So it didn't really
that by that logic, Bakugo would have to rant. He would have to. Okay, let's say the first user died before he could say anything to him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say that he had to meet the third user, and then it'd be some random ass nigga, and he give it to him, just like, listen,
which is actually.
He was maybe dying.
So wait, because in this case, because the issue with the third and the fourth that you're talking about here is that the fourth directly states that he chose to live in isolation because he couldn't beat All for One, which means that whoever the third user was gave him like enough information to let him know, like, yeah, this ain't it. So something about what the third user did, and like that's the things that because they're in the corner, like people are talking about, they might just be like they have great shame. It might be that the third user like just straight up ran away. And so I personally think that the third user probably has the shortest tenure. The second and third user.
I will say this though. The other part of this, that's the other part of the theory doesn't make sense to me. So we have an explanation.
The whole theory doesn't make sense, but go on.
So they give an explanation why we can't tell us who the second user is, but why can't they tell us who the third user is?
Well, Aniki said tracks, that nigga being in intense shame.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like if because of the argument people use, another argument people use for why the second user is Bakugo is because it's somebody we already know. That's why I'm not showing it. Who is showing us who it is? So who's the third one? And I heard people say it was Kirishima, which doesn't make any fucking sense. But okay, then why? Pretend that is the case. Why is his hair blonde?
Yeah, that'd be weird because like Kirishima's natural hair color is black. He
black.
dyes it red. It wouldn't make sense for it to be blonde.
Nah, y'all don't understand that. You just see they're older, bro. Obviously, he wanted a new look. Red Riot wasn't cutting it no more. You see what we're talking about right now, right?
Right. Like, so it's weird. Okay, but here's what's crazy to me, right? Is that certain parts will get there and it'll be like, okay, so this particular vacuum makes sense, but it's in an ocean of bullshit.
Like you,
so
you
it's
see,
like it's like fishing corn out of poop.
Okay. Listen. I'm gonna break down this entire. I'm about to break something down right now, right?
Yeah.
From the start of the series until now, everything has led into this chapter with Deku doing what he's done, Quirk singularity, adding up, the power expanding, the electricity he has obviously means that the power is expanding out his body. Quirks keep being brought up, the last user, why the Quirk, like everything lines up, right? This is a man who started the series, set this shit up, fully paid it off right now. You see how much consistently that lies into that, right? Logicness, consistency, and practicalness, right? Why would he chuck this shit with a free throw from half court with his fucking eyes closed and say, now I'm just going to try something out now. I know I built up everything else in the series, but I'm just going to try my hand to do something that makes my life that much fucking harder.
Okay,
like niggas like say like, well, Horikoshi made his job harder by not letting the villains just stomp out in the last arc. No, he was paying off everything he set up in the series. That's not the same thing. You just want a more faster approach to the villains winning and ruling. This nigga has to go out his way to dodge around circles. You see how there's no bulletproof way this happens? This is like 10 different niggas with 10 different points of views of the story.
Mm-hmm.
This is one person like, I'm pretty sure like if I had it was a nigga with common sense, I'm pretty sure horror got more than just common sense. I'd be like, why? When I could just create something else even better than that. You would have to go out your way to take a trash. My fault, you got it.
The thing about it is that from what I learned from mangaka in general that I talked to, these guys, okay, they have plans, but most of the time they do stuff like they improvise too. So I don't think that I think that Horikoshi improvised some stuff in the story, but the teams, the base, like the power system, stuff like this, he really made a bit like a source and made that he could always pull off. Like the thing that we see right now, he might have developed it, make it better through time, but the thing that about Quirk being like goblets, and a Quirk or the body has goblets, and the Quirk is more like a sort of liquid. That's something that keeps repeating in the story. So Horikoshi knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's writing. He has like a goal to go to. You know what I mean? And it's what we see every chapter. Sometimes you're lost because it takes like a right left or a right it just like turns around sometimes to do some stuff that we didn't expect from him, but still he knows what he's doing. And it is, if you understand that as a reader, give him time, believe in him. It's scary to believe in some writers, I know, because we experience with other stories and we project that on new stories. But you have to understand, Horikoshi, Gege, even Tabata, they read. And I'm just telling you Let me finish my point, please. All these guys read what we read. Some of them took it and tried to make it better, tried to see what were the stuff, try to find their balance to make something new. Others said, I like that. I want to do the same thing. You know what I mean? So
one of those is clearly more effective. Two of those are
By
more,
the way,
effective than the other.
important detail.
what?
This chapter, more math, also proves that Sandra Psyche is right, and that All Might was 56 at the start of the series.
Well, it depends on when you think he got it, because like he was 18 when she got killed, and he was almost
no. He wasn't 18 when she got killed.
He wasn't.
No, he gets the quirk at like towards the end of his second year, or like in his second year, and then like she dies, and then he has his third year there, and then goes abroad.
Yeah,
so he would have been 16.
That would have made him 17 because
he would have been.
Yeah,
no, because like
most of the first years are 16.
No, most of the first years are 15 and turn 16 during the school year.
Yeah.
And then so like All Might, depending on what time he got it, would have been either 16 or 17 during his second year.
So if it's for sure 56.
So he would have been, so regardless, he's 56 to 57 because it's been 40 years.
Yeah.
So that's my point.
And I want actually.
So Sandra Psyche's math, like I just wanted to give Sandra that credit. She did the math a while back. We now have hard confirmation. All Might would have been 56 to 57 at the start of the series.
You have to understand why. We understand why One For All was so strong. All Might, the way that All Might grind with the quirk, the way that he grind with the quirk just made like difficult. Even if somebody get that quirk, he's the 10th user. Tends to use the quirk, man, he's gonna suffer. He's gonna suffer.
I want to piggyback off Panzer was saying earlier. Y'all niggas need to get it through your head. Like, stop saying like just because Naruto is one of Horikoshi's favorite series, not the only one. He also looked at the One Piece and other. He literally had an interview with Kubo talking about, yeah, I used to do Bankai shit like that. I really was inspired by like. He literally also stands Akira, which you actually read the manga that is way superior than the movie. Like, there's and he's the biggest like Marvel and Star Wars fan. Like, somebody said something real funny to me. Niggas was like, I don't really see Shigaraki taking over like, Japan and shit like that. And I was like, my homie Simi was like, nigga, he stand comic books. That's an average day in Gotham or in a fucking Superman comic or in somebody's comic where the world gets taken over. That's like an average fucking issue. That's like an average fucking story arc in a comic. So like, it's really not that crazy. The only person binding Horikoshi to the medium is these niggas with the projection saying, oh, because it's a shonen, it can't do this. And did y'all hear the fucking Shonen Jump say, hey, of course, you can't do this? No, that's y'all niggas making a projection. Like, I'm not trying to hear like, he can't kill them. He can't do this. Like, Chainsaw Man, JJK can prove to y'all that like this whole shonen thing, like it's just a demographic, bro. It's not that serious. Y'all really
exactly.
Like, please stop that. Like,
exactly.
JJK I seen niggas get squashed and twisted up and organs pop out in Chainsaw Man and JJK. They had fucking lesbians and an orgy on the fucking cover. I don't know what y'all talk about. Oh, he can't kill a kid because it's Shonen Jump and like, nigga, it's just a demographics. Stop trying to hold that to them. It's not trying to hold her close to these standards that he gonna follow what these other series, like he said Naruto was. Naruto was fucking fantastic. Shippuden is garbage. There's a difference. You can like something and it can end trash. Like if the Bakugo theory happens, guess what? It's trash. If Deku passes on the quirk to somebody else and does this, that, and the other, and they have kids and stuff like that. Not everybody feeling that, right? So you can still like MHA, but then there'd be sections you don't like. He can still like Naruto, but there'd be some shit that he don't vibe with in Naruto. That's common sense.
So East will become, if that happened, East will become it will become from a defeated of the East.
Ooh, as long as I stand this God-given man that writing this series, we never lose, bro. Because you know why? All we do is let my nigga write. I don't form some imaginary headcanons that don't go my way. He didn't kill Endeavor. Okay, guess what though? I called Endeavor wasn't out the woodworks unless he was injured. But guess what? Because we know Shoto takes Adabe in the series, but all the family Todoroki's together and now they're going to fight. Guess what? That's what Seiya and Aniki was like. Oh, Endeavor's death flag is kind of back now. But I was already saying if he's not crippled, that nigga's not out. That nigga's not free because I'll be done with his ass by the time they link up again.
Well, and that's been like my thing is that I always said Horikoshi loves to maim you, but I'm like if he didn't maim Endeavor, that puts Endeavor in a terrible spot.
Thank you, exactly. Like I was like, bro, It's not. It's like I said. It's not trash. It's trash. Is it trash that it didn't happen, or is it trash that you didn't happen when you expected it to happen? Because this nigga got bigger. This nigga got bigger plans. We wouldn't have got the full Toya story. Toya part of the story had the whole entire family not come together and had this resolution right here.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't think I needed everything to happen in the middle of the story.
Apology accepted, BG.
What?
Shippuden became trash.
I never apologize. I
just said I'm
disagree with
sorry.
that. I definitely disagree with that, but that's neither here nor there.
Shippuden had it at first.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about what Ponzi just said.
No, I love Naruto. I grew up with this too. I grew up with anime in general. So, but Naruto was my first new 2000 anime. The first time that I watched before Bleach, before One Piece. So that was a new experience for me. The first time that I watched was the first thing that I saw was the Chunin exam. So I was shook as hell on television. So yeah, man. When I started to rewatch back Naruto and I came to Shippuden, I started to watch my first thing that I watched online, anime that I watched online was Naruto Shippuden. The first thing that I did as a kid. So yeah.
Well, you didn't watch OG Naruto?
Yes.
You know, he said online. He said online.
Oh, online. Okay.
Online. Yeah, online. So it was on TV. Like we had like a special. Only one channel was sending Naruto back then. So I was watching back on that channel. So yeah, I grew up in Naruto. So and at one moment the anime started to become too slow. I started to read the manga, and it was my first time that I was reading manga online. That was a new experience for me. So Naruto is something really important in my timeline, I will say, in my life. So when I heard that Naruto was the reincarnation of a nigga, when they killed Neji because they wanted, I was thinking to myself, nigga, what is happening?
Oh yeah, no. Oh, I agree. No. I agree with that. It's saying that I can't agree with saying it became trash after Pain because Five Kagefen wasn't bad. It was fun.
Yeah.
And then we get to the beginning of the war. It's slow as fuck. It's boring as hell. But then you get to that. Then you get to Paradise Island, and that's really nice. I love.
Okay,
that.
That's true.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what I always said, I wouldn't say that the war is trash. It's just that at the beginning, it's slow. It picks up in some places, like when Madara gets introduced. There's some battles that are good, but like overall, it's still not the same. But you're just kind of like, it's like I remember someone told me that it's like 1/3 of the whole manga, that one arc, right?
It is.
Yeah, so it's just like it's very long and dragged out. Yes. And then by the end, where we get introduced to Kaguya and the Destiny plotline, then
that's when I started falling away from. I'm like, no, because now Naruto's this destined child who was born for greatness.
Well,
I'm like,
okay. To be fair, this is a criticism. I've never liked that criticism because I'm not saying it's a bad criticism. Yeah. I'm saying that I don't like the criticism because that didn't start there. That started in Pain.
Oh yeah, no, I know, yeah, that. But see, with the Pain one, I can tolerate that more because you can kind of tie it into, oh well, they were both kind of, or maybe it was Minato, or whatever. Like I can stomach that a little more than, oh, you were the reincarnation of my child. You will now become Ninja Jesus and be able to heal everybody. And
man, when that happened,
oh my god,
I screamed from in front of us.
Chris, OG Naruto gets his respect. Nobody dissing OG Naruto. Shippuden don't get that respect.
Of course.
I don't give a fuck what you trying to talk about.
No, I was saying like the thing about it is that you could argue that it was like all of it. Not necessarily, because like the reason I say that is because fucking Jiraiya pretty much came to just the understanding is that so it wasn't Nagato. Oh, I guess it wasn't Minato. He's dead. So it really is Naruto. And then Naruto ends up saving the fucking world. So yes, it ends up being Naruto.
No, but the thing that's a difference though, because Naruto was always like saying that he was fighting against his destiny. That's the thing that we
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's my point though. He says he decides his own destiny, whilst having a prophecy thrust upon him, and it ends up being true. So technically, he's never really been ever since Pain. He hasn't really been fighting against his own destiny. He's been a part of the destiny for like a quarter of the series.
That's the thing about it. That's why I always said that after Pain, it became trash in my eyes. But it is because that philosophy of that the thing that really went to my core, that was the fight Naruto versus Neji, because that thing about destiny, as a child, I had like my issues, many issues about with myself, because I had like low self-esteem, self-hate and stuff like this. When I saw this, I was amazed, and I really, as a kid, I was like 10 years old, something like that. You know what I mean? Like 10, even less. So I was shook. The thing about destiny, about being the destiny, and the way that he tried to give it to Neji, and I thought to myself, damn, maybe I can become better too. You know what I mean? Back then, and when I saw what they did to the character Neji, but yeah, that was just like story stuff.
Actually,
yes.
But also something else that like kind of added insult to injury is the fact that they put, not only Naruto was like destined for greatness, they made that his Uzumaki clan, he had the Senju DNA, like, because a lot of people like saw the difference between Naruto and Sasuke. That Sasuke was born into this amazing, powerful clan that made him so strong, but Naruto had even stronger genetics, since both of his family members were part of two strong clans.
Yes.
No, not both of them. Only one of them. Because
Uzumaki and Senju?
No, I'm saying Uzumaki. The Uzumaki are cousins to the Senju.
Yeah.
But Minato is just an average ass nigga.
He's just a genius.
He's just average.
It's not average. He's a genius. That nigga is the genius of the genius.
I'm not saying he's not a prodigy. I'm saying his genetics have nothing to do with him being a prodigy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was saying what makes the destiny thing worse is, I don't know if anybody caught this. Did you know that Neji also became a slave to his destiny once again, because he sacrificed himself for the main branch?
Yep.
Facts.
Hey, man.
The thing is, people will say he chose it.
You're right. Let's go ahead and start getting back to this MHA chapter a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm always life for a good Naruto.
And also Naruto not one of the only OGs, bro, that made anime way popular. There's still DBZ, Yu Yu Hakusho, Zatch Bell, like Bobo, like Toonami had the block, bro. It wasn't just Naruto now. It's not just Naruto.
Yeah, Zatch Bell was what I was. I discovered this online, and I loved it from the start, man. The idea, the concept. It is JoJo's with some kind of thing, but it was just genius. Oh man, I loved it. Oh man,
what series?
Zatch Bell.
Oh, that.
Gash Bell.
That's easy.
I need a remake of that.
But just like Shaman King. I never peeped Shaman King, but like,
peep it, nigga.
The anime coming. No point. Anime coming.
I watched the OG anime. I watched the OG anime on TV in the morning. I remember. I was like when I was a child, so I know this stuff. So when I was 17 years old, I went to the 17, my bad. 17 years old, 17. I took all the books, all the volumes in the library. And when I went to Paris with school, I read it all the manga. Oh man, that was great. Damn, Shaman King is a good story.
That's just raw. Read it.
I need Zatch Bell to have a fucking remaster like Shaman King, because that's an easy 9 out of 10, boy. That final arc.
Well, maybe I'll read that after. Well, maybe I'll read
that. Bro, the castle arc. Stop playing me, bro. The fights in that.
I need it.
Character design, the characters design, even the song. Chi, oh, boy.
Kiro pulled up.
Oh man.
Pokemon pulled up, beat up on Zach. I said, "Oh my god!" Oh, we got a super chat.
Oh man, that was so good.
Aniki, you want to read? You want me to take care of it?
Oh yeah, I got you. I was letting y'all have that Naruto conversation. And here we go. I type long comments about Spider-Man said 2 things I want y'all to discuss. Which quirks will Deku unlock next? And did All For One have some personal beef against Nana to screw her so badly?
Let me attach the first one first. I mean the second one first, because Tarnish had a theory, and I think it's pretty plausible. So we know how All For One way back in the day too, especially y'all do that whole Japanese history cultural thing, how the woman's supposed to be in the house and cooking and shit like that way back in the day. So for him to be that goddamn old and that from back in the day, like, so women were definitely in the house and shit. He a misogynist. Tarnish says most likely that since Nana is built like Supergirl and shit like that, because she's dumb most strong and she can fly, she most like popped that nigga in his head and he ain't never been hit by a woman before. And that awakened like a pure sense of rage to go after her specifically. You gotta think, bro, like, I think it's pretty plausible that she popped that nigga in the head one good fucking time. And he wasn't ready for it. And the nigga fucking despised her for that shit, bro.
Oh, wait, okay. Also, somebody just said that how did Deku know that he was gonna unlock float? I don't think it's fair to say that because I'm pretty sure we actually saw Danger Sense first.
Well, I mean,
I have to relook at the fight.
I mean, I was going to say that the biggest thing about that is it's not that. Here's the thing: people have the misunderstanding. It's not that he knew he was going to unlock it first. He was training him to prepare for it, and it was the intention that if he were to do that, it would bring it out.
Yeah, that way the same thing that happened with Black Whip didn't happen with Float, where all of a sudden he's just floating all the way up to the atmosphere and dies because of air loss.
Yeah, it was because it's like, okay, I know that's coming, so let's get ready for it.
Yeah, and how the fuck would he even like train for Danger Sense too?
Yeah,
because I would exactly. So I would go for something that we know we can do. Float.
I mean, to be fair, how do you even there's nothing you can even really do with Danger Sense unless, of course, the mindset is you're not gonna let Danger Sense drive you insane like it did already. Yeah, maybe that's how you train it.
That's a good point, because I actually because some of y'all, I'm not gonna say everybody, but some people they really like the theory of Deku taking all these new masters or teachers. But I for one like how people had their own personal teachers in MHA. That's one of my favorite things. And Deku wasn't overshadowing and stepping on everybody's feet. But now, since the worlds are connected via like, I would say Reborn, but a lot of y'all haven't read Reborn. But this is actually inspired by Reborn. The Dying Wolf Flame, the previous users of the flame come back and teach the newer generation. Like literally, that's like what is really kind of based off of. But let's use Avatar. He can now sync and talk with the users in order to use their quirks, because he doesn't need these random other heroes. Like, he can learn from the direct person who had the quirk initially, like their actual quirk, which is what I like. I like how that worked out.
Yeah. So, fun fact. Well, actually, it's debatable because of how it's drawn, but because it could be lightning, but it could have been like a foreshadowing. Let's see. I'm looking through the fights now to see which one he got first, because I really do think he got Danger Sense before Float, but it just didn't. We didn't know. So y'all keep talking while I do this research. I want to make sure we got accurate information for the viewers. Or stop talking. That works too. Jeez, like I'm out here trying to. I'm like going through chapters, so like you get, guys. Like,
there's another super chat.
Oh, sweet. Moon Dude 345. Yo, I'm about an hour and a half behind on the stream. I don't have any insights on the chapter, so just doing my bit this week. Have a good one, y'all. That is so appreciative. That is so appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah.
That feels really nice. All For One is likely to be about 100. So you remember how I mentioned how he's probably like 143 is like around where that like the advent of quirks could be like that. Maybe slap on like the extra like 17 years, and keep in mind that's inflating and assuming that a lot of the users lived for like 17 years with One For All, which we know objectively they didn't. So, and then add in like Life Force, the quirk, and there's a good chance that like 150 to 170 is probably where All For One is, which is about around like double the average human life expectancy, which would be why he is now passing on. like the quirk literally around now. It is both one for all and all for one, basically hitting their in-game points. Okay, am I crazy? Like, did I lose everybody's audio or?
No.
Okay.
Flow's muted. Ponzu's muted. East is muted.
All right, we got Shisui pulling up. We got
Shisui and Squid.
Yep. Oh wait.
Oh.
All right, Shisui. So hold on, Squid. Wait, because you were here earlier. Shisui, since you just got here, give us your thoughts.
Hold on, he can't hear. I can't hear him.
Yeah, I can't hear him either. Actually,
it was weird because I was just he didn't start yet because I was just FaceTiming. He FaceTimed me because he's wondering why you didn't let him in.
Oh, okay. Well, Squid, what did you come back to drop real quick? Because I know you got some knowledge.
I don't think maybe you guys didn't mention this, but one of my favorite things about Shimura is how consistent her character is in terms of thematics, because everything about her just screams her duty over her family in terms of hero work. Think about it, she abandons Kotaro to fight All for One because for the sake of his protection, and then you have this idea of her just taking all of this grief and still smiling during her work for reassurance. It's just, and now she's asking for him to kill Tomura, and it's just so consistent with her placing her duty above her family, which is one of the most prominent themes of the story, that they hurt their own families they hurt their own families to protect strangers. So that's interesting in my opinion.
Yeah, no, Hori's been honoring the fact that the very thing that Shigaraki hates about Nana is one of her most defining characteristics. And basically it kind of proves that no matter what happened, to a certain degree, Shigaraki always would have resented Nana. And the thing that he's mad at her for is kind of, I don't want to say completely justified, but it does make sense. And it is kind of a problem because it's, once again, kind of a commentary on that worker culture. I'm still looking through chapters for the first appearance of Danger Sense. All right. So yeah, and obviously Endeavor ends up being the primary, and the Todoroki family is the primary discussion of overwork. Actually, even the one for all user dying because he's just took on the extra quirk and the stress killed his body is kind of funny because it's his job was to be a hero. He isolated himself and he suffered karoshi, essentially. But Shisui, I see you in here.
Mm-hmm.
Got your fancy 1080p, 4K.
8K. They got
Sony bought this for me camera.
Oh,
so
brother.
let me hear.
No, just excellent chapter. I'm sorry I came in late. I was doing some things, but I'm gonna go back and just watch what you guys said. And then I'll probably speak to you, Aniki and East, individually or whatever. But
okay, so I think Deku did get float. Deku basically got float and Danger Sense at the same time. That's what it comes down to. Is he jumped in the air and then within that same fight, it popped off. So nobody was playing Snake. That was me clicking through chapters and pages though. Someone in the chat.
That's pretty funny.
All right. So now I guess this is a question that, do you guys think All Might is ever going to be a completed Vestige, or is he just going to stay their computer?
He might, at the end of the series, might have more of a human form, but I don't think it'll ever form. For any one of you that has watched Star Trek Deep Space Nine, there's this character.
The best Star Trek.
Yeah, there's this character Odo, and he's 200 years old, and in one of the episodes where they go to the future after encountering the hole, And it's like after all that time, he's like starts to develop more human features because he's been around people. But in the current time, he looks much more plasticky. So I think that's gonna be his deal, where he like slowly form more characteristics, but not fully get there, even after a long time in series.
Is that a wild Susu I see?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, look at you for it. You're looking good, bro.
Niggas don't know I work out like almost every day.
No, I know.
I don't know. Girls bring to the house every day. They know.
He's been hitting the gym, bro. Hey, making use of that time. Respect it.
That's why he came in here with that soccer mom fit one day.
It wasn't the fit; it was the hairstyle at the time. Just had to change it up. I remember my homie said that I was looking like I was about to go to like an aerobics class or a yoga class.
You was looking like you came straight out that hot shower chance video.
Oh shit! Damn.
Oh no!
All
down bad.
This chapter answers so many questions, man. It's unreal.
I told you, my nigga.
I love how it addresses the fact that All Might had no quirk factor, and that was like one of the biggest questions we had.
Mind blowing.
They thought that it was transferred through the quirk factor. That's where your consciousness resided. Turns out, if you just built for the quirk, you can implant your own consciousness. Like sprinkle a little of that conscious in there.
And I like the fact that it almost like it basically became his own. Like that was just so. That was great.
Nigga really put the world on his back. He put in Japan.
Oh god. And then I like the fact that Midoriya, like they the whole thing about like basically he's like the last wielder of it. Like that was just everything was just hitting then like because I had so many like I kept reading pages of it and I was like, oh wait, and that presents this problem. And then Horikoshi's like, nope, like no, it doesn't. Like I'll answer right here. I'm like, oh god.
Told you, let my nigga write his story. He got this shit, bro.
I knew it was gonna be fire from that first page, bro. I was like,
I was so mad that Bakugo trended. You know why? Because you had a bunch of these guys on Twitter thinking that was Bakugo when his hair is shaded completely different.
Oh yeah, Aniki. Go ahead and get on these niggas about them spoilers. Get on ahead, because them niggas was all over Twitter. Y'all was all over Twitter. I can't believe Horikoshi. Yo, that's Bakugo. Yo, this nigga fucking fumble. Yo, I'm dropping this series.
Wait. Bakugo facing the wall? Like that's what they thought.
They said so. The spoilers came out. I don't want to hear no fucking excuses. Them niggas, they wrote them trash ass scans from the spoilers. Them niggas was going on Twitter, going fucking crazy, trying to trash Horikoshi. Yo, did he just fumble the bag? Did he just do this? Yo, bro, that better not be Bakugo. That's Bakugo. Niggas was going fucking crazy. And I asked Ian, I'm like, bro, is there something to be worried about for this chapter? He's like, no, not any single problem I could find. I read the chapter. I'm like, what the fuck was niggas bitched over? Fucking Squid and them telling me they thought that was Bakugo in the corner. Why would I have to smack the fuck out you, niggas? What's wrong with you, bro? Over here tripping over some.
Why would he be stick? Why would
No. I was not part of that. I was not part of that group. Don't co-sign me to that.
So
no way.
Wait. First off, I want to just real quick address the super chat because Banjo Hikage were friends. It seems I agree with that. They blatantly like. I feel like they definitely like just got to hang out a bit before he gave him the quirk. Like that definitely seems like that was
an
like
interaction.
He gave that like this my homie. Take this.
Long time no see. Such shit. That was adorable.
I love Banjo. He's such an idiot.
No, Banjo was definitely like a popular hero at his time. Like,
he's confirmed. Like out of all the users, like out of Ichigo, Rukuro, Shiro, like fucking Nana. Like I love Nana, but that nigga Banjo my favorite. That nigga was like, "Oh, you can't speak," and then Deku was like, "No." He was like, and he claps his hands. Nice. I said, "This nigga funny." He go over there swinging on Shino. He was like, "This nigga here just a weirdo." He's like, "No, everybody else was weird." And he like, man, shut the fuck up. They start like fucking pew 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 pew. I'm like, these niggas are hilarious, bro.
Yeah, that nigga Banjo's funny as fuck. I love him.
Yeah, he's great.
And his quirk is useful as hell for reasons.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about. This nigga. Nah, slick or shit. You saw how he looked at the camera, right? Reasons. Yeah, let's get to it.
I could just hear like Marvin Gaye in the background when you said.
Oh, really?
Shit. But Aniki, go ahead and pull out the belt.
Because like, okay, so here's my issue with like I keep saying stop running with the spoilers. So much stuff you don't be like just relax. Like I feel like after we had that moment, after the Toga moment in MVA, where y'all swore she was getting tag teamed. And Horikoshi was having her get tag teamed by like 80 dudes, only for it to be them trying to kill her. I feel like y'all gotta just let that go. Like let go running with the spoilers. Like,
listen, they be reading 144p quality scans. They ain't even shaded correctly. Some stuff should be gray when other stuff should be white. Like they are so amateur, and they legitimately use that.
Well,
why present yourself?
I'm not trying to.
Like I said, I don't think that. Yeah, because you weren't here, Cecily. But my biggest thing about that whole X Bakugo thing is it doesn't make any sense. Is the logic they throw out is they're not showing us who he is because we know he's Bakugo. So they can't show us that yet. I'm like, okay, fair enough. Then tell me who that other nigga is then.
No.
Well, that's a different story because I don't have an answer for that one. So that's a completely different story. Oh, nigga, they both hidden. The fuck?
Yeah.
also, I'm just gonna point out that Kirishima doesn't wear pants for real.
He doesn't wear what?
Pants. He wears a kilt because he's manly.
Yeah.
And because when you turn into rocks, if you tried to wear pants, you would just end up ripping your pants.
Hold up.
I'm gonna use that as Jose's from now on.
No, hold up. I got the perfect reason this ain't Bakugo, bro.
Why?
No.
Give me one good reason why Bakugo switches his entire design and doesn't have a single X on his shit.
I thought about that too, actually.
That nigga would have fucking had an X on his shit. And don't give me no bullshit talking about, well, it's just on the front. No, bro. His entire X goes around his entire body. Literally for explosion, like, nigga. It's an X for explosion across his entire body, bro. He would not have changed it. Like, niggas talk about he homage and best genius. He would have still had his fucking shit, bro. Like, please stop.
Zu came back. What did I miss?
We talk about how this nigga, the supposed Bakugo, the second user, doesn't even have the X across his armor or his costume like Bakugo would have. But that, like,
my problem with the idea of like the cosmic treadmill idea, like for like what you said about Flash, was support items have never been shown to be remote.
Right, like we don't have anything that OD.
Like, okay, here's what you need to do. You need to go like 100 years into the future at bare minimum, where Aries like this super little old recovery girl looking design, and then you gotta move her back into the present, and then you gotta move her back into the past. No, you actually have to go back to the present.
I told you, bro. It's gonna turn into the runaway.
Like this whole thing where she's taking an older Bakugo to the past, like 140 plus years ago, where he dies.
Well,
I'm not going to let the Duragonist die in such a pitiful way.
No, I'm curious. Have any of y'all actually read Runaways?
Read? No. Watch? Still no.
No, the watch. No, still ass. Fuck the show. The comic in the second volume of Runaways, there a character named what was her name again? Garth. Whatever. No, not Garth. I can't remember what her name was. Gert. Yeah, Gert. In the future, she's like in like an unrealistic future. I'm sorry, it's unrealistic as fuck. She becomes the leader of the Avengers and comes back in time for no fucking reason to stop some shit and all that type of shit. So I'm like, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna have Ares be like, no, we have to fix this. I have to go to the past. I have to save them all before they don't get murdered. They gonna do that?
You got some wrong, nigga.
Alternate time. Oh my gosh, you have to introduce so many concepts just for the thing to even work.
Hey man, exactly. I'm crying, bro. I'm crying because somebody posted a fucking Scar. Go ahead and win and posted another banger MHA tweet. Let's talk about the what's it say? One for all users as family members. The content nobody asked for. So Banjo the uncle probably gives Deku speeches on how to be a man. Rukuro, the one with his mouth covers, the middle sibling. He probably plays volleyball. The first user, an emo older brother, and the two younger brothers are they time out, and none of the mother/grandmother. And Higaraki is the other emo older brother.
With a goat grandmother.
Right.
So hey,
Right.
I know
That puts them in timeout.
I know Shisui saw the resemblance to fucking Nana and Avatar Kyoshi, and that's his favorite avatar, if you didn't know. So I know he was like, yo, son,
I
this is what I'm
respect
talking about.
Kyoshi because she didn't go through with that pacifist nonsense. She was like, they get to smoke if they can't. If they don't.
Exactly. Exactly.
But actually, like something I've always wanted. I love because I've watched that Kyoshi moment like over and over again, and I feel like most of the fandom blows it out of proportion what she says. Because what she says really is just like, oh, we have responsibilities, and sometimes our responsibility is going to have to make us do things that we otherwise don't want to do. And everybody ran with it like, damn, this nigga said kill him, like right there and there. It's like, murk this man, no like questions asked.
I mean, she said it and she said it in less words, but she means the same shit pretty much. It just means that.
But how like she didn't say it with like any malice though. It wasn't like like
she didn't say kill this. No, she didn't say kill this nigga. She just said I'm like, I know you don't want to kill this nigga, but you gotta. That's your job, nigga.
But he didn't even say like you have to. Just saying like if it comes to that, then that's like that's the choice you have to make because you are the avatar. It's more so about responsibility, like putting like the fate of the world over like your own personal needs rather than just be like, nah, just murk him.
Well, and that's the other thing though, is that people want My Hero to be like this underdog coming of age story, and it's literally the great power, great responsibility tale. Like
Spider-Man out, bro.
Like the same way, like we were talking about Aang, where everybody was like, bro, your job is to fold niggas. You don't get to sit there and be like, yeah, but what about no. You beat ass. You beat ass so other people don't have to beat ass, and multiple asses don't get beat. That's your job, Aang.
I mean,
and you ran away, and you ran away and failed at that. That's why the fucking world and shit. She should be showing off his Avatar Kyoshi novel. Yeah. By the way.
Oh, I have that too.
Yeah.
And Nana's sitting here like one. I just saw somebody post like Avatar Kyoshi and Nana, and then it was like the same picture thing, but. Yeah. But like it is the same energy. Like Nana's like, yo, we heroes. We beat ass. That's our job.
I love that shit.
Niggas. Like what you think you signed up for?
That archetype, whatever. Like I love that shit. It's not the business, bro.
Listen. Y'all know how much I hate that bird nigga. I never he did what he had to do.
All right, I'm out.
For what his cause was, he had to make a choice, and he made the choice. That nigga Deku gonna wise the fuck up, like everybody else in this arc did, and do what he need to do. He can deny it right now all he want. When Shigaraki rise to power, because literally, bro, I love anybody y'all, because I know everybody here agree. I love to hear. I challenge any one of y'all niggas right now, bar for bar, to tell me how the heroes match up to not only Shigaraki with perfection, because they 75% was giving these niggas a hard ass time with Quirk. With Quirk, 100% he bodying anybody. He already got 10,000 actual premium convicts out on the street. He gets Makia back. He gets more of his members back. He get all the Pilapio back, and all the heroes of forces are down past the point because they already had that shit at fucking NBA. They had the powers to match. They have more forces now when they get them back than they did before. And the heroes have way less. The heroes have way less. So when Shigaraki can rise back up, there's no possible way you can make a defense without some bullshit that Horikoshi would never do, that the heroes can survive. Like heroes can take a stand and really take back fight Shigaraki toe to toe. They can't. They down bad. Yeah. So you're gonna have to do what you gotta do, bro. It's not about what you want to do, it's what you need to do. Mm-hmm. Put it into that shit. You can't say, well, we can just lock him up and he'll never get out. Okay. And y'all say All For One was gonna get out, and look what that nigga at now.
I want to bring up something that I knew, and I thought about this while streaming the whole time, is that the similarities between between Reborn and My Hero Academia with the concept of one for all, and the whole heritage thing of the Fangole family. And next to this, you get also Deku and Suna. The way that how the characters are portrayed, you know what I mean? In the beginning,
well, one's a bitch though.
What?
Suna's a bitch.
Yeah, one's a bitch.
Hey, don't talk like this to my goat, okay? Chill out, bro.
Whoa, did you just say goat and Suna?
For me, no. Suna, no. I will tell you why. It is something that I recognize myself in Suna in one moment in my life when I was in depression.
Oh, okay.
And so for me, that this character, when you understand what kind of character he is, that's really the source of the kind of person who have to strive to become better, start to become better, accept his role in life, and being a leader. And we know that there is different kinds of leaders, and I really recognize myself in that character. So when you talk like I can understand why people call him a bitch. I can understand that because he was crying. He was in the first part of the story. I understand how he was, but people are scared about stuff like this. You know what I mean? They'll ask him to become a mafia boss. That guy doesn't succeed in anything in life. So, but yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Just like to say that these similarities, I saw it. I was talking even about it online on Twitter. If check all the things that I'm talking about. But yeah, the similarities are here because people talk about avatar states, but Horikoshi said that he don't know about that. I was shook too, but yeah, and I recognize the more wonderful stuff with Reborn. So
yeah, I said it earlier. The Dying Wolfling was literally the Von Gala Primo was talking to this nigga Suna, telling this nigga how to use the power even better than he did before, and showing this nigga new stuff. And that went the same with all the rest of the Guardian.
Yeah.
Nobody talk about Suna a bitch because he crying. No, mainly Suna just really stupid. And he really developed into a great MC. Yes. But like Amano really threw his entire character development away at the last chapter for a gag joke. That shit pissed me the fuck off.
You're not alone. I don't feel that this is a perfect series. You don't want to.
That's how you rule. Like it was literally one of my favorite series, but that last chapter was not it, bro. Like
yeah, man, I was mad when I read the last because you know what I did? I was back when I started with my depression back then. I started reading My Hero Academia. Reborn. I was 17 years old, and I thought I wanted just to read. After watching the anime for so long, I knew that I was a manga. I thought to myself, you know what? Just to take a pause. Just read it, and I had an exam tomorrow. You know what I did? I read the whole story, the whole day, the whole night, right? The whole series, and I came to my exam. I studied in the bus. So, and yeah, just how mad I was when I read the end. I thought to myself, "Shit, what is that?" And I went. The day of my exam, you know what I mean? So yeah, I understand how you feel right now, literally. So yeah, the way that she wrote the character from the beginning before that point, the character really started to Tsuna, really started to Tsuna. Yeah, you saw the evolution literally about somebody that nobody saw something in him. And he became a great leader. And
he was a beat you. That's because he started off as a beat you.
Man, I like that. I just like that Deku, the way that he cares about people is, you see that also in Suna, the way that he cares about people. They're more leaders that will try that inspire people than really people like Bakugo lead them. You know what I mean? People are inspired by them, and I really like that.
Oi. I don't know if people realize that.
So is Reborn worth the read? Because I only watched the anime, and I know
it's literally just those first 20 chapters that you got to
It's not 20 chapters, bro. It's more than that. It's about 60, 70.
I've been exposed. I gotta tell you, bro.
Like I said, no, I'm only talking shit. I've never read it, but I heard a lot of negative shit about that.
But I watched the anime, and I know it cuts off at a point. So I know
it's the same. It's the same. It's from what I've heard, it's exactly what Aniki said. It takes too goddamn long.
You basically watch an entire first season of content before the mafia stuff starts.
It really picks up. Picks up.
I mean, all them niggas. I mean, if it was like Yu-Gi-Oh, where like, is it like Yu-Gi-Oh, where like the first 50 chapters are like kind of slow, but like 30 of them are like 25 of them are really slow. The other 25 are really good.
The thing, no.
No.
All right, that's not getting read. Never getting
No.
read.
The thing about it is that the first 20 episodes, when you watch the anime, the first 20 episodes are just like the start of the story was more that's more comedy than something else, and then it went just like really in a battle shonen way, and for me it was it was surprising well done when it started to after episode 20. Really it started to pick up the pace really fast. The characters, the world building, stuff like this just kept going. I didn't read the start of the manga. I need to do that because just to see what happened really in the manga. But I know it might be difficult because there are comedy and gags when that took too long. I don't really like that too. So yeah.
I heard that shit was. I heard it wasn't really funny either.
Sorry.
That's subjective right there.
Yeah. So what?
That depends person to person.
Yeah, that's person to person.
I'm sure.
Like what I like,
some people say Gintama isn't funny, but I think it's hilarious.
So yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, that's the thing about it. So everybody has their own taste. But yeah, it's just a story. The core of the story of Reborn is beautiful. It's beautiful. Core about learning about loving yourself and becoming accepting who you are really, and yeah, next to this, yeah, family. You know what I mean? Family. That is beautiful.
Yeah. So chat, y'all got any questions y'all want to ask us talk about? Because
yes, like the stream, guys. We just missed 7 likes to get the 100. So yeah, continue.
I was stuck in Africa when I got into Hitman Reborn, so I really had nothing better to do than just get through them early episodes live. It was tough.
Nafisa. Hello, girl.
I figured that was Nafisa when you said stuck in Africa.
Yeah. But I can understand.
No, she told us that.
Yeah.
You took it that way.
What?
Who? I was laughing because because like you already knew the joke to it. There was already a reason you knew it.
Also, the All for One is having the break the body effect on Shiggy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
because the cracks in his face.
Yeah, I already knew that was coming.
And anyway. The thing about it is that the feeling is that Ujiko tried to work this thing off by making the body making like the operation, so the body of Shigaraki becomes perfect to handle all this stuff. You know what I mean? But why did his body crack down? It is because he didn't finish his operation. So it still shows from right now. It still shows that Horikoshi is consistent with his writing. We now understand why Shigaraki could not had to go under all these torturous operations to be able to get all for one. It is because getting another quirk in your body destroys you. So yeah, I really like that. I really like that attention to detail. Really.
Mm-hmm. I honestly have no clue about what that 6 user quirk is. I don't think. But I wouldn't want to talk about. I do want to talk about how long do you think Deku will stay in the Vestige world? How long will the coma last? I can't preface that. I can't really say nothing. But the first user did say we do have a while. So because Banjo's like, before you go back, we need to talk first. He's like, well, we got some time. Before you
say about 2 to 3 more chapters.
Probably 2 more chapters, and probably when he gets out of there, it's gonna be a while out of there. So like this Vestige world is happening, but when he gets out, it could be like maybe a couple weeks afterwards where he wakes up.
How are you gonna feel when he wakes up and his dad say it took you long enough?
Man, Hisashi bum ass don't get to say nothing like that to my boy.
It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny, man. It's gonna be funny if I read that. But the thing about it is that for the person that asked what is the 6 user quirk, the 6 user quirk is linked to his arm. if you watch, if you see one of the panels with what he first presented, you can see in his right arm something growing out his
between his
yes.
knuckles.
Knuckles, not knuckles, but here exactly.
Well, it's like up here, so it's like right around where like his knuckles are gonna start. So it's like
so
it's a punching quirk, clearly.
Literally. So yeah, maybe it's linked to his bones. We don't know anything about it. But the thing is that the panel when they showed how they died, it was that same arm that was blown away. So all for one of I don't know who killed that guy, just blow his that arm away. So that it is linked with his right arm. So Deku might have a new quirk on his right arm. That's really interesting to see that. So yeah.
The quirk is Gon's Jajankin.
Lol. The thing, it might be a spin on the claws of Wolverine. You know what I mean? Because that we don't know anything really, but you know what he did for every quirk that we get. He make like a spin on it, like with Nana. She has a flying quirk referring to Superman flying with the cape and everything, you know, Superwoman, Superman. So yeah, it's really interesting to see that. Wait. So yeah, we are 97 guys, 3 likes. Oh.
What?
Oh, Roger Bays just said something positive.
Oh. All right. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Raj.
Yeah. Really? Yeah. Happy too, guy.
Like, also, Roger, make sure you watch that video on cults. Make sure you watch that.
Also, that reminds me, Aniki, I'm caught up to Attack on Titan, so whenever you have that stream when it's over.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
I actually, for the record, I like what happened in this last chapter. I don't care what nobody's saying. I
thought most people did. Did anyone dislike it?
Yeah.
There were people that hated it.
Yep. I didn't really feel something. That's the thing about it. I like the concept.
I called it the fumbling.
Wow.
Wow. I didn't expect.
So we have a hater in the. All right, BG, can you explain your?
I got spoiled on that shit about 6 different times.
I said my chat, not me.
I got spoiled on that shit like 6 different times. Fuck them niggas.
My boy messaged me. Today's My Hero chapter was Kitty McTitty.
What?
Roger Base. If you make a stream with about Attack on Titan, do you want him to be present?
Of course. Like if Roger wants to come through and talk AOT, especially because the other thing is when it's all over, people are gonna want to talk Attack on Titan anyway, and unlike like MHA or like even maybe not JJK as much, but like a lot of popular series have a bunch of haters. Attack on Titan doesn't have that energy, so we'd be able to just like have a nice positive conversation without anybody like trying to be aggressive or anything like that.
Facts.
So yeah.
Nah, JJK
came back. JJ came back with the hate.
JJK has some haters too.
Yeah, but like JJK doesn't have haters like attacking every single chapter. So.
Yeah, really. You just the first word that you say the wolves chat. The first word that you say the wolves.
I do have like just one like small criticism about JJK, but it's not even like that big. It's just like just some like a small preference thing is that they don't focus on the characters as much as I would like them to. It's
you mean like the actual character writing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my biggest issue with JJK too.
And it's not like an issue per se. It's like I would prefer to be more invested in characters when stories as stories progress. But if it has a good plot to it, I could still be entertained. So I have no problem with it.
Greatest haters are Aaron Stans. Facts.
Man, I was a full-blown Jaegerist, and I still.
You're a Jaegerist?
Yeah, a full-blown Jaegerist. I was like, "Fuck them niggas, wipe them out, wipe everybody out."
Same.
But let me finish. The reason why I was a Jaegerist got proven. Like he was like I was like straight up. I was like, straight up, this proves what I thought. He literally had no choice. It was always going to be this way and terrible. And I was like, look, I support him going and like trying to do the rumbling because that makes sense, like for his position.
I'm not
a person with
sense for him. That doesn't mean I don't support it.
I kind of, so people always like, I hate how, like people are always like talking about like, oh, if a character made a bunch of logical decisions, you would find, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't, because Aaron is a character who made a bunch of logical decisions that just looked like him being ridiculously emotional, and it's amazing. I love it.
I'm not gonna lie. No, him attacking Marley that first time didn't have to happen.
It made complete sense because
he didn't have to do that.
They're in war. There's like they struck first way before you acting like what were they gonna do? Wait for them to come up.
The first attack on Marley literally happened the day they declared war on them. What you mean?
Yeah,
you just like.
I'm talking about like during the festival because they hadn't attacked LD again. They hadn't attacked them in 4 years. They were planning an attack, but what is it at that time? What is it? The fucking perception of Marlians and Eldians was like shifting. It was more like in limbo at that time. But then when these motherfuckers attacked. When these motherfuckers attacked, yes, because they were ignorant, but they were learning more. We had people like Falco out there who actually was questioning this shit. So I'm like, you had reason to believe that this didn't have to end up this way. But then Aaron fucking attacked. So then it's like, never mind, they're right. You're right, they are devils.
Nah, because McGath was literally going to force the campaign to get the founding anyway. So they were going to be attacked regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like they were
planning on taking out parodies for the longest,
Like no matter what happened, they were getting they were fucked. Like they were gonna be attacked.
So they brought it to him first.
Yeah.
JJ, what do you like, bro? Damn, man. JJ
he said it's that good mid. It's okay. It's okay.
But he's what? He said what?
He said it's good mid. That
Oh my God! Come on.
I don't know. I mean, the thing, like you said, Flo. About the characters, yes, I really like the characters. I would like that JJK takes more time to delve in the characters' psychology sometimes because the characters are fucking great, but we don't get the time for this. You know what I mean?
I completely misheard you, Ponzu, and I thought you said that they need to delve into the character's discography.
Well, we did get confirmation that Gojo can sing really well, so to a certain degree, we do deserve at least one Gojo track. And I do like Falco. Falco is my boy.
Yeah,
Falco's the old boy. Everybody.
I have another question too. There was so Project Manga. They did this a tier list of all the characters, right? Mm-hmm. And I was saying that a lot of people like Nobara a lot, right? And I'm not saying Nobara is a bad character. My problem was that a lot of people think that Nobara is better than Maki, and that's where I can't understand. So can anyone explain that to me?
I can't explain that to you. Okay.
Yeah, I can't.
I feel kind of bad because I didn't notice it, but when Kubo said it, I realized that was
true.
Like that like put the finger on it. Like Maki, Nobara, like Mei, Mai, like a lot of them are really similar.
Yep.
Like really similar.
Mm-hmm.
And so like to me, like arguing Nobara versus Maki is like arguing green versus red apple to a certain degree. Like there's a slight flavor difference. Like there's some flavor differences there, and like one's more sweet and one's more tart. But like I don't know, like it's not worth the big fight to me.
Yep.
I don't see them as that similar.
Other
than the only thing I see, because the only thing I really see similar to their character, the only similarity I see in their characters is that they're strong, that they can fight, and they're cool, and they like fighting. Only similarity I see, but I don't really see anything other than that. Because like Nobara is way more hot-headed. Very she's very like easy tempered. But Maki's calm for the most part. She can
Maki literally started talking shit because Dagon kicked her and was like, man, you better pull up if you go like. First off, you just got kicked and he decided that you weren't even worth his domain attack, and you out here pulling up talking about if you're gonna kick me, kill me in one blow, nigga. Like you ain't that hard. Like, bro, come on. They got the same Aggie trash talking mentality.
What is it? How often does that happen with her? I don't see that happen to Maki very often.
No, the thing about
that's a staple.
Hey, be mindful that you have a lot of only for JTK in the chat people.
That's why I only said when she got kicked.
What are you telling me? I didn't say anything.
That's why I just said when she got kicked.
I'm just saying be mindful.
I thought you said my name. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't say anything.
No, I ain't singling nobody out. What the hell? I just said just be mindful.
Anyway.
I got you.
Chief D Hater said red apples, yellow apples, green apples in that order.
I love that. The thing about this, more like the characters, the female character of JJK are more like on the spectrum. You know what I mean?
What?
I will tell you on the. Let me explain.
Also, I agree with Tyler Hawk though. Hanami is best girl.
Facts. The thing
was a girl.
Yeah, that was the thing. The anime that I saw that she was a girl. I thought to myself, okay. The thing about it is more like, they're all like form of strong women, of strong concept of about strong women. You know what I mean? So that's why. So you get Mei Mei, the one who's omnibulated by money. Yeah, incest girl. Essence girl, yeah, she's the one omnibulated by money. Yeah, the fact, and you got the one who just so Maki, the one who tried to defy the patriarchy, like lol, but or just like trying to become the head of the clan. You got Mai, who's more like she showed that she was the double faced one, like she showed that she's strong, but she's like weak. You know what I mean? So and you got Nobara, who is like the main girl who's like trying to learn about being a woman sorcerer. You know what I mean? Like woman sorcerer has to be perfect, has to be beautiful, there has to be strong, stuff like this. You know what I mean? That's why people love her more than Maki, because Maki has more like a family plot, like become the head, but her, she represents like the talk that she has with the blonde girl, I forgot what the name is, but yeah, that they are more like that she's more about representing what we expect, the hard reality that we expect from women. You know what I mean? In general, that they have to be beautiful, they have to be na.
I mean, but Maki has to do something somewhat similar because her clan is very misogynistic.
Yeah, okay, so one of the things that I want to just point out though is that within that interview, something Gege said makes me feel like Gege's aware of this too.
Yes.
Because they were kind of like, think about that. Akutami straight up was like, I don't, like, basically implied they don't feel like that great about their ability to fight right women, and even said like, if somebody asked me what my favorite female character was, I'd freeze because I'd have to like really think about it. So even like, I feel like it's okay to say this when Akutami's kind of like aware that this is happening in their series too.
He's aware.
I feel like that's him being, at least with the female character. I feel like that's him being humble though. I don't really see it.
No. He said himself that he's scared. He's scared to write women character. Most of the time when he write characters, he said like, it's easier for me to write different male characters, but females, I'm really scared to write female character. You know what I mean? So and because the way that Kubo talks about it, he say, so is it your type of woman? You know what I mean? So I can understand. Even Miwa is the poor woman, the girl who's like poor, but she keep pushing through. Like this, it's a kind of that is a kind of strong woman. You know what I mean? Every type of woman that we saw in the show are a type of how we see the strong woman. You know what I mean?
Don't think but that's not but that's not what he's getting at. Because you can be strong in different ways, so she's not the same as them. Because hers.
No, I meant.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying like it's not in the situation. Because his what Kubo said was that they're all like one note, that they're all like kind of the same. But I can't say that Miwa is the same as any of them because she's not really confident in her abilities. She's not that strong, but she keeps trying anyway. That's a lot different than.
So my thing though is that like when you have one character that's like that, and then the rest of them are, it's kind of like.
Well, I'm not saying that defeats the argument. I'm just saying that Miwa's not a good example of that because she's the actual outlier from that thing that we've been talking about just now.
But she does get rocked. Damn. All right, fair point. Somebody was like, I remember clicking on an MHA chapter review. My bad, I guess.
Wow.
Oops.
I mean, it was an MHA chapter review for the first 2 hours.
Yep.
You got here too late.
Yeah.
So sorry, my man.
No, that's fine. But like, we can.
Because I don't really think there's much more to say, is there?
No.
I don't think so.
Fam, it's when people talk about misogyny, guys, you have to understand the setting. Sometimes when you talk like this,
hey, no, it's still misogyny.
What's
like,
the setting? It's in present day.
No, wait.
Okay, so wait.
No.
One of the things that I hate, and I really, really do hate this, is when people try to excuse bad behavior behind culture. No, that is inexcusable. We don't.
No. I don't say that is good. I never said that.
Like
I never said that.
But my point though is that like, because and I'm not even saying that you're doing this, but I see people do it online a lot, where they like when we talk about Watsky only getting like a slap on the wrist for like his pedophile stuff. People are like, well, you know, Japanese law, it's fine. Like I don't see why. And it's like, no, bro, like. He should have had bigger consequences. Like you don't get to use like culture or country as like so like that. I just like just for like anybody who in the chat who like try to take that approach. Like, well, it's not. Okay. No, it's still misogynist.
That sounds like.
I said it, and I didn't say that it's not misogyny. Can I say something? It's not because what I see online is that people try to pull that off the context. You know what I mean? That is something that you don't understand. It is misogyny. Yeah, it is something that just like there are people that are outdated. You know what I mean? So if you understand content, okay, it's just to show that some stuff, of the past still exists today. That's what I like about that fact. You know what I mean? That people have some stuff that they are bad from the past, like we have something good from the past, but they are still existing today. You know what I mean? I
want to say something quick. Real quick.
What is it?
Yo, listen, this might be off track, but I'm just gonna say it real quick and keep it moving. Yo, Marshall was heat, but Undead Unlock. Oh my fucking god!
Bro, what this week?
The final page of Undead Unlock. The final page of Undead Unlock this week, though.
Let me get to that shit. Hold on.
They were dropping bombs, boy. They was dropping bombs.
I need to read that. I need to read that. I'm gonna mute myself.
I'm still not caught up to Undead Unlock. I don't know when I will.
I don't want to either.
What? Marshall's goated. Stop.
Bro, Marshall. This chapter was heat.
I don't want to.
It's
just that I haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, no. Marshall is different. Yeah,
this chapter of Marshall was heat, boy. They did what I did. They did what I needed last week with Finn. What is all I asked for. He's actually a full character now, and he's not just some Zenitsu guy. I don't got problems with Zenitsu, just like that whole scaredy cat, and then running tag. Like, nah, he actually a character. He got his balls. We seen his magic, so I'm happy with Finn.
What? Okay. I'm confused. What is his magic? I don't get it.
It's swap places.
So it's boogie woogie.
Yeah, it's boogie woogie basically.
Yeah.
Exchange magic. I'm sure it'll end up being like. I'm sure it'll be something. All right, Kaiser, relax.
What's the secondeth? That's what I need to see a secondeth.
If he can even master, if he can even
he doesn't have secondeth yet.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I know he doesn't. I'm saying, I'm like, what would the secondeth of that be?
Who knows? He can get creative because I thought he would have had sword magic like fucking Ray's does. That would have been usually it's a lineage thing when it comes to that. But his magic is like switcheroo, which I like more because it's more fitting to him.
I forgot you just mentioned Kaiser, so I take it he was talking shit about Undead Unluck.
Yeah.
You're fighting a good fight, Kaiser. Good, thank you.
Thank you, Chief D hater. Wouldn't unmid mean gas? Yeah, you're right. So it is gas.
Yeah, it negates mid. You right.
Whoa.
Sorry. I don't know about that one, Ball. K and Y greater than Marshall.
All right.
You just run an agenda. You couldn't even say that, nigga. They nowhere near the same chapter count.
Even if they were, nigga. Even if they were, let's compare this to chapter 53 of Yaiba. No, I'm sorry.
What is chapter 53 of Yaiba? I don't even know.
That's like Spider.
Bro.
Damn, they get that much? Shit.
Don't make me start going in on K and Y. It's been over for a year. I want to just look forward to when we get to watch the anime and I'll be faded and I'll be like, wow, this is pretty. I'm not gonna think about the fact that fucking the Cloud Pillar is literally impersonating John Cena swinging a sword, because that's how the mist breathing works, where he gets to like dodge between the clouds, since apparently he doesn't have powers and create actual mist.
Oh,
I don't want to think
Tokito?
about that. Yeah.
You can't see it.
Yeah. How serious do we have to take that statement though? The fact that she said
it comes from
the author. I understand that, but like if in the manga itself, that it's clearly like implying that like they can't see because of like the mist.
So here's the thing. There are in the beginning, there are moments where I was like back and forth on it. Like, okay, so it's real, so it's not real, so it is real, so it's not real. So, and there are other moments, and then she made that statement, and then later on, and I was like, okay, so I guess that makes sense. And then later, but there's some statements before and after that kind of make that sound sus. So it's just terrible fucking writing. But it's word of God. Word of God is the most important thing.
Right. So like, because like it was like, oh, you're not like, they don't have powers, and I'm like, huh? Because like literally, when you get to the Upper Moon 1 fight.
Yes, exactly.
He straight up says he's diving between the clouds. Like, what? Like, do they exist or not, nigga? Yes. See, y'all asking all the right questions. That's why we try not to think about that. And yes, the Red Light District is still one of the best arcs in the series.
Yep.
A 7
I'd
out of 10
agree with that.
That's the best arc in the series. That's sad.
Oof.
Wait, it's a 7 out of 10?
Me, it is, because that shit. There's too many fake outs in that bitch for me to hold good. There's too much. There's a few ass pulls in that bitch too. I don't like it that much in comparison to everybody else.
Damn.
Because niggas told me that shit was gas. I read it. I'm like, yeah, it is gas. It's put me to sleep.
Dog. All right, BG. Now you definitely got to watch that video I did yesterday because it's on gas attacks anyway. But
boy, these niggas move fast, boy. This All Might art kind of.
Oh wait, we got new All Might art.
No, I'm about to drop it in the church. They got Yagi sipping out the childless son like a king. That's it raw.
I just need there to be a whole bunch of Class B art so Boomer can cry.
Yes, please make that nigga cry. Cry on his knees.
Wait, what?
Cry on his knees. What you mean?
Oh, I thought you told him to cry on me.
What?
Like, what?
No, I'm trying to have that nigga suffer. I'm trying to have that nigga suffer. He run too much agenda.
Nah,
dog, why they edit the 6th user to be like fucking Inumaki? So they just edited so he just says Solomon.
Yeah, that shit was. They were doing that since the scans. That shit had me fucking busting down laughing.
Oh, NBA. NBA.
What they ask?
If Red Light was or NBA was better.
Come on now.
Red Light isn't in the same conversation as fucking NBA.
Yes, Akaza is clear of every demon. Correct.
Yes, that is true.
Who's that?
The Upper Room 3.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen that movie yet.
Oh, I don't only watch anime, but I don't care if I get spoiled or not.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying like it's in the he's in the movie. He's in the new movie.
Yeah.
You'll see whenever you watch that, you'll know who he is.
Maybe one day I will humor KNY and give it its own stream.
If you do that, that's not a good idea. Just be shitting on it for most of the stream.
You right. I don't want to be toxic. I want to be positive.
They're gonna pull that up. You don't want that.
Yeah, they gonna try to cancel me. They gonna have me on Twitter. Don't need that. I don't need the KNY fans at me on Twitter.
What KNY fans? Nigga, they disappeared.
Hey, bro, Ario's still out there somewhere in the ether.
No, Ario's the last remaining one.
This nigga said fleshlights don't compare to NBA. Oh my god.
Wait, who?
I get it. You're right. Like I didn't hear no lies.
Look, I ain't gonna talk about that because I will never confirm or deny having used one, because if you make a staunch statement either way, niggas assume you use one. So I'm just not gonna comment on that.
I mean, you might now you're making me raise my eyebrows just for you even bringing it up.
Say what you want about
like
you the one who was like nobody said
awkwardly
anything
said
about that, and I was like, well, shit, like why you make it awkward that we didn't address it? Like, why you bring up us not addressing it? Like, all right, I type one comments about Spider-Man. Say what you want about Natsuo, but he got a mutant girlfriend, so he ain't calling people racial slurs like Shoto or Dabi, or misogynist like Dabi. Hey, you can be a misogynist and still date women.
Hey, listen.
Doesn't have
it's
a
so
girlfriend yet,
hello. Oh, my Wi-Fi wins.
You good? You going?
Hello. Okay, because that shit, like I heard BG talking, and that shit was like, yeah, and then Aniki stopped moving halfway through. Flow's muscles was peaking, but they wasn't like flexing like they usually do. Like when he was sun from the back come on and they gleam, and his smile starts shining. And nigga like Chip Skylark from fucking Fairly Odd Parents and shit.
Nah, I said that fucking no, Todoroki can't have a girlfriend yet. You don't even know how to talk to people yet.
Yeah,
he don't.
He was getting bit off of personal space, like.
Nigga, I'm like, no, he can pull any girl he wants, but he gonna be able to keep him. He can't talk.
Listen, oh, it was so funny. Somebody pointed out, like, can't wait for people to stop bitching about this. And it's that you look like you need saving panel, but then it's tied back to, tell me, can you kill Tamura Shigaraki? Stop playing with my nigga, dog. He like, I don't know what y'all keep talking about, but this shit just keep tying together. Like, this nigga got all the cards. You don't know what the fuck he doing, bro. Like, cause he got it. You can't beat Horikoshi. You know why? Because you don't have all the fucking pieces to the puzzle. You don't have all the you can't beat this nigga. Tell me how you can beat Horikoshi. Please tell me. He has to fail. You can't beat this nigga, man. That's how these niggas think they can beat him and they can get the jump on him. You only look stupid in the end. Which is why shout outs to Flo. He didn't jump the gun. He said, I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna hold out, I'm gonna see where it goes. He still could pull this around. And Flo, guess where was they at last chapter? 10,000 convicts on the loose. The entire state of Japan is getting worse and worse. Ain't no heroes on the street like it used to be.
Actually, that is something that I want to ask you, Flo. Like, are you more satisfied, like especially with these last couple chapters, with like the way that the results of the war are?
I have no problems with how can I put this? I have no problems on the outcome of the aftermath, I should say, of the war, right? That to me, I expected that from the beginning. It's just literally just how the war ended anticlimactic, of how they just said deuces in the middle of the fight.
Huh?
That's about it.
I mean, fair. Yeah. Whatever. I just think as long as you ain't saying that you're not liking that you're still holding on to that. As long as that's not like you're like it's just a super point of contention where you just warps your whole view. I think that's fine. It doesn't matter.
I mean, for the most part, because I know like that big moment is going to happen, whatever, like where the villains do get not a win per se, but like they'll have the upper hand over the heroes because that's just how most storytelling goes. The only thing that I would say that I wanted to happen from the last arc was, how can I put this? I thought the last arc would have been an undeniable like 10 out of 10 type of a thing. Like it's like, oh, this is like the arc to put my hero on the map. And because I thought this was going to be like, the biggest moment in the show. But I would say NBA was probably had a bigger impact for me. But other things will soon come. What was that?
I was going to say that no, I mean like I feel like it'll still do that, especially when it gets animated, because like the thing is not many people don't know that, but anime sales boost for manga don't typically come from the manga itself.
Yeah, it usually come from the anime.
Yeah, so I wouldn't expect anything that happens here to change that. It'll all come from whenever the anime gets at the moment, which it could be this season.
I guess let me ask, do you guys feel that MVA had like a bigger impact on you for the series than the Liberation War?
To be honest, it's yes, because a lot of people can do a war arc like they have before, or this is really a raid, but let's say this consider a war arc, right?
Yeah.
What MVA had showed me, horrorcore should build different. Nobody running his series but him. In order to a full fleshed out arc, it ended when he wanted to end it, and the reasons why some people didn't get fights makes more sense now, like Dobby and them, and like compressed. It was meant to focus on these specific characters so that they got their moment, which got fleshed out even more. Meanwhile, Spinner and them still have time to do what they need to do. Like, so I was like, okay, this nigga didn't have Deku. There wasn't no mint. There was like a small little panel, but that was when Shigaraki talking about I'm trying to kill everything, anything that exists, this, that, and the other. So at that point, I knew Horikoshi was built different. I'm like, okay, hey, bro, you got the reins. You already had it, but it's to let me know for the story, you got the best interest. You got the shit in the bag. No questions, no doubts, no nothing. That's what let me know. But this arc was just utilization, pushing the story forward, but in the aspect that he was still using all the characters in quite a flow. Because someone who binged it was like, he read it so nice of a flow and so tight knit, how all the characters made a point and a part, and it was never like any fluff it to it. The arc was just moving.
Yeah.
I mean, up until I would say up until the Deku versus Shigaraki fight, the arc was flawless, like absolutely flawless, right? And then how Volk pointed out, that was like, you know, the climax, and then we get the Dobby reveal, Genius coming back, Mirio and Makia. Like I was there should be something else bigger to happen, because like if we're getting all these big reveals, like, you know, coming off at near the end of the arc, I was assuming something bigger would happen, not just like, you know, because the fight between Deku and Shigaraki was so jaw dropping, and then we get other things that like they're not as big as Deku versus Shigaraki, but it's still like very important towards the story. So I thought something else even bigger was going to happen. And then when he just woke up and said, when AFO woke up and said, all right, guys, we're gone. We don't need this anymore. And then I was like, oh.
This is weird because like part of the thing that I like about this aspect, and this is purely a taste of choice thing, is that it's going to sound weird, but I think clean endings to what are supposed to be messy conflicts kind of annoy me after a while. Where it's like, well, this is clearly the direction, like, and it's like, it shouldn't be that simple. It should never be like, oh, we get to beat the villain and then like, oh, the big bad guy's down, now let's arrest everybody. Like, that's not usually how like real war works right away. Like, usually it's like, oh, as people are figuring it out, some are still fighting, some aren't, And so by switching it into AFO, like kind of being like, I'm out, and then it turning into a chase at the last minute, that for me is like, all right, cool. Like, this is like, it is a retreat, but then you also have like a bunch of other stuff going on that creates a viable distraction where it makes sense that they could just run him down, plus the quality and caliber of what his mounts were and the quirks he has available to him. You know, it all tracks. So I was like, cool. Like the big twist here is that there isn't some super massive fight to like resolve the arc, but instead someone using their head and being like, this is dumb and I don't need to keep doing this. Bye. And I'm very pro people not being dumb.
To me,
so I don't want it to be like,
I was going to assume either way that someone was going to leave, because I didn't think like, you know, Deku or Shigaraki was going to be either defeated and or captured. I was assuming like one of the parties were going to leave. I just would have wanted something big, like, you know, another like kind of big finale to end on that note, because we didn't really get that with the Dobby reveal, because like after the Dobby reveal we get the Genius and then the Mirio, and then I was just like, okay, it's like, let me at least like give me something like that extra oomph before we just like you know, end this arc. But
so like, if I'm understanding from both of your point of view, what you were wanting, and what Aniki kind of didn't want, was something like the Shank, like Marineford, when Shank shows up and stops everybody.
God damn, it took so long to finally get here, but I'm finally back.
What was that? Was that it? Was that it, y'all?
Pretty much like pretty much like before, like Shanks comes in, you had and you didn't even have to like have one of the characters die, just like anything dramatic to happen to to just before the end of an arc.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that was what you were wanting some more grandiose like that. That would just be like a showstopper. But honestly, you're on your point of view, you're like, you don't want that because that makes it too. That would be more like a, oh well, damn, it wraps it up pretty nice and neat.
Right, like, because to me, the whole point is that this is creating a messy society going forward. So you don't end in this clean fashion and then go, but like, it's still messy. Like, that feels weird to me. Like, I hate when like series do that where they try to like be really clean because then it feels fake and forced. When like
try to have their cake and eat it too.
Right. Mm-hmm. Whereas in this situation, it's like, no, because we're gonna go be a mess, like now it's just a mess and we have to deal with this. And the disappointment you feel is the disappointment that the heroes feel, just like the disappointment that certain Shigaraki fans feel, and that is like what like Spinner feels ultimately. Like people are sitting there like, I'm so worried Shigaraki's possessed, and I'm like, yo, you realize that in verse you are Spinner now. You become this villain stan. You become this big Shigaraki fan. You want to make sure Shigaraki comes out on top. You are cheering for him. You are Spinner now.
Aniki, thank you so much, Aniki, because when I was talking to Rex, and I'm like, he's like, but what did Shigaraki do? It's like, there's no point to this. I'm like, you see what you're saying right now? You're not special. None of y'all saying what you said is a special point of view. You know why? Horikoshi wrote the story. He made the characters in the story in a meta type way acknowledge Shigaraki, you haven't destroyed anything. Spinner says, you're not that guy I follow. What happened to him? Shigaraki says, I won't be your pawn. What are you not getting when he's
Kanye?
And that point exactly
like he keeps insinuating like, yes, I understand he hasn't did this yet. That's the point. He still has to grow. When that shit cut off at 75, that should have been a telltale sign this shit wasn't gonna go how we thought it was.
That made me happy when I saw it cut off at 75.
Yeah, that should have been like the point that we thought it wasn't gonna go how it was really supposed to go. So now everything happening like as it's happening is like, okay, actually, you knew what the fuck he was doing this entire time. There's a point to Shigaraki still having to rest up and this, that, and the other. Like there's a point to everything.
I mean, it makes sense to me because people were saying like, no, he has nothing else to learn. If that was the case, then we're at the end of the series now, aren't we?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But he needs to learn how to overcome his master and shit.
But that wouldn't make any sense to me anyway, because how is it the end of the series and Deku still isn't even close to being finished?
Well, some people think it's the end of the series.
They're wrong.
Exactly.
Because those people believe that. Those people don't believe like it'll be a part 2 if it ended right here and Shigaraki just won. No, like these people believe like Deku was. Somebody was really trying to tell me, well, it's just shonen anyway, so Deku's just gonna beat Shigaraki and this, that, and other. And that nigga was quiet.
I mean,
happened the way it happened.
Okay, they said it's a shonen, so he's gonna beat Shigaraki.
Yes, nigga, I was like, bro, what? That doesn't mean exactly.
I'm pretty
that
sure
has nothing. That has even a shonen. Even if a shonen was a genre, that's not exclusive to shonen. In fiction, the good guy wins. That's how it works. What?
They really, man, I swear one day you're going to hear a Twitter post that says, oh, it's a shonen. Of course they have characters. Some bullshit like that.
Like that shit just so I was talking to my other home, like, bro, this shit's like, so I'm not the crazy one, right? Because I'm talking to him, I'm telling him all these theories because he's not part of the community. He's like, where the fuck people be getting this shit from? I'm like, thank you, bro. Like I told like the Bakugo theory, the Deku Quirks thing. He's like, bro, it's in the story. What you mean? He's like, where they be getting this shit from? He's like, bro, these things don't make no damn sense. I was like, so I'm not crazy. So it's literally like
a lot of these theories remind me of there was like this one character Chris Rock played in a movie. His name was Pookie, and he was a crackhead. That's what it reminds me of.
What movie is that again?
I can't remember. Does anyone know which movie that was? It had Chris Rock playing a crackhead named Pookie.
Actually, that do sound familiar as fuck. I think I actually did see that one time.
I don't know what it is.
I think somebody's searching up. Somebody's searching up. Where'd the flow go?
Oh, I hear dropping questions, then leaving.
New Jack City. It's New Jack City.
Okay. Yeah.
With Flo leaving, I also have to go too because I'm about to get ready for my flight. So I'll see y'all.
Oh, you got shit. You got a flight, man.
Well, when you traveling,
all right. Actually, here let's start.
Yeah, you're probably going on 3 hours, damn near.
Yeah. We gonna start wrapping this up. I got a guest over anyway. So,
of cour's.
Oh, you got a guest, or you got a guest?
Oh shit!
Don't worry about that, bro. Squid, give your final thoughts.
It's an 8 out of 10. Everyone's very consistent. You know, with the first and fifth users, you can kind of interpret it however you like, as if it's an act of destiny or it's just timing. So you have that interpretive element there. Yeah, it's good. I expect 305 to be much more compelling, especially for Deku's character. Nana is really showing off that Avatar Kyoshi, beat. Sometimes you just gotta smoke a guy when he's just too wild, and I respect it. So, yeah, 8 out of 10. Great chapter.
All right. Can I go next?
Yep, BG, go.
Great chapter. Answered a lot of questions. Had me excited. I got to laugh at these so-called theorists in the community, and I'll continue to laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it? And I look forward to next week. Unfortunately, I won't be here.
Damn.
Where are you gonna be going though?
I'm on vacation, nigga.
He been told you this, bro.
Yeah.
I can't say nothing because I don't make enough money to pay y'all. So like I can't even complain about you being gone.
Yeah, that's bro.
Yeah.
But how they gave you vacation? Like
Me?
during the pandemic? Oh, that's crazy.
Oh no, I don't have vacation. I have UPT.
Yeah, you just take time off, bro.
Oh wow.
Which is something that you'll be considered rude for in Japan. But
I have 80 hours of UPT. I have plenty of time to go.
Yeah, exactly. I took off like later this month just because it's my birthday. So which we have 3 March birthdays in the church at least.
Yep. That was weird. That was fucking weird when I heard that Say's was her birthday was the day after mine. I was shook.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Walk-ins. Actually, no. Ponzu. Final thoughts. Let's go, Ponzu.
Okay. So this chapter comes for me as a special one because for 7 days I didn't eat. I was fasting, and for 7 days I just drank water, and so it was for myself. So I won't dive into details. So this chapter for me today was a great chapter. Like I did it to renew myself, and this chapter was kind of renewing too, for the story, killing headcanons, theories. We get more about the OFA. So one for all users, we can, and Orikoshi choose it does West panels. My bad. So the thing that we saw with the second and third is really interesting for me because it adds more to my theory. And next 2 days, it was a great stream. Sorry that I went out because I was reading the stuff that was recommended by Archbishop East, and damn, this chapter good.
Told you, boy.
Look, hey, bro, look. Don't worry, because while y'all was having that Naruto conversation, I was like, let me go read Mashle Undead Unluck, and a couple of other things. So, like, I read Black Clover then too. Black Clover.
Yes.
See, now that I've accepted that Black Clover is just fun meathead stuff.
Awful.
Yes.
Yeah, true. Absolutely.
Like if you just take it as like meathead stuff, like you're just like meathead.
Yep.
You can have a bit more fun with it.
Yes.
A lot more fun.
Exactly. Yep.
Literally, that's what I have. That's what I have.
Get you one.
Had that epiphany a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I had that epiphany as soon as I started reading the shit, man.
Lol. So the thing about it is, so having even Black Clover, the chapter was Black Clover was good. Was a great chapter. Art-wise, Tabata went off. I respect that. So yeah. Oh man. So My Hero Academia straight up a 9 on 10, even 10 on 10, because this chapter was it's good for the fandom. It is like, the great cleaning from Horikoshi, cleaning the earth, cleaning his fandom, showing them that's not the way, you know. So yeah, I love that. Thank you. You know what it was? It was Banzo. And see you.
Dang, bro, Yuji got done dirty, bro.
Stop.
Oh,
Stop spoiling. Spoiling.
hey, listen, his fit
Damn
ain't
it,
clean.
only
I'm just
sucks.
saying that. Like, I ain't spoiling anything. I just saying I ain't messing with his fit. You feel me?
Flo, you gonna get your final thoughts?
Yep, Flo, go ahead and give your final thoughts.
Yeah, this chapter. Ooh, yikes. My bad. The chapter was amazing. I always like the Vestige scenes, getting to learn more about Deku's quirk and how it worked, and the past lives that the quirk has seen. I really loved the end of the chapter when she asked Deku, "Are you willing to kill him?" It gave me that, what's the name? Her name, I should say. Avatar Kyoshi. Yep. Now what I was thinking is, I want to know, does she feel some type of way about Shigaraki and his upbringing? Because she's not like directly, but she's indirectly responsible for him having the life that Shigaraki has right now. So I want to see her as a character more. See if hopefully we'll get that next chapter. Other than that, this chapter was, very, very solid chapter of My Hero, like most chapters. That's about it.
My boy Watkins.
So I've been quiet most of this stream, but
You have.
I'm about to go off here.
All right, talk to him.
So Babyface Watkins is gone. This is full on heel version Watkins. Horikoshi taking all of your headcanons, taking all of your dumbass theories, and kicking them away, telling you, no, you need to pay attention. Read, motherfucker. Watch. Look, I am telling you the story here. Everything is here for you to understand. Do you believe me now? Can you see it now? Can you feel it now, Mr. Krabs? This chapter was 10 out of 10. GOAT. God damn, I love it. Can't wait for next week. I love it. I loved every single thing about this chapter. Fuck your headcanons.
Oh man, I love that. That was literally like shooting headshots everywhere. Damn, man. Some people's gonna be targeted.
I love it.
Dang, everybody got a red dot.
Oh, that does remind me.
I'm tired of it.
Oh, what BG said earlier, I wouldn't say it annoyed me, but it did irk me a bit how he just had the other two niggas just in the corner, just looking away. I'm like, damn, I want to see their faces.
Yes, but it is.
What
It
if,
is
yo,
the
what if
point.
they're in the corner because they were corner boys? They were turning 6 and rock out here.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. All right, East. Get your final thoughts out here real quick.
Man, listen, I ain't gotta be that damn petty because fucking Walking stepped up and did what he did. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. Every week, me and select few individuals don't lose. Do you know why? The each faction don't do nothing but let the GOAT do his thing. And once again, 4 dumbass theories that have no context and make no sense and betray everything the story has set up prior to got knocked the fuck out the park. I'm tired of y'all using this projection headcanon that is shown and they can't do this, they gotta do that. Don't nobody say that shit but you niggas. Horikoshi don't know who the fuck you niggas are. Okay? Y'all make this shit up. Y'all make this shit he can and can't do up, but you don't get the final say so. He do, okay? Stop putting that Naruto, his favorite series, he's gonna follow this shit, that shit. No, nigga. There's plenty of more influences than just that. Literally, the entire, someone pointed out, the entire One for All users were basically the Jedi Council sitting around Anakin. That's the parallel. That's where he got it from. Not some fucking Naruto shit. He got other influences. Stop thinking that's the only thing, bro. Please, I promise you. That shit don't live on his head 24/7 like y'all make it do. I promise you, please, it don't. Shout out, please, bro. This is beyond 10 out of 10. He just answering the questions and the heat don't fucking stop. You say you had a problem with Deku saying, and the future Deku saying you need to say him back there. A couple of chapters later, now the actions, can you do the job that needs to be done? Come on, stop playing with this nigga, bro. Everything you could think of, he thought of it and did it even better than you could do, bro. Stop playing with my GOAT. And shout out to these new age mangaka too. They got it in their bag. Read Undead. Don't let the first few chapters fool you. And Marshall's on the fucking gas pack. Shout out to Horikoshi. Undefeated of the East, baby. What it do?
Talk to him.
Y'all got y'all instructions. Drop them hell hories. Read Undead Unluck. Go ahead, enjoy and indulge in the rest of the Weekly Shonen
I
Jump
got one
magazine.
more thing. I got one more thing to say. The people who be throwing out these theories got they got doo-doo flakes in their ass. I swear to God.
Make sure you're actually out here reading.
Oh,
if you didn't already watch the video, it's in the description. Watch the My Hero Academia and the On Shinrikyo video. I promise it'll enhance your understanding of the series and what's been going on with the stuff. If you haven't already watched that, I promise you will enjoy it. Make sure you watch that video.
And drop the link.
Y'all have, yep. Pawns, you already put it in the chat. Pop that over. The stream's ended anyway. You got something else you can watch. Go ahead. Learn something today. It's got a little, even if you don't care about the cult tie-ins, you'll still enjoy learning a lot about the way people are viciously murdered and lots of other things.
They probably bleed through their mouth. They don't wash. They haven't taken a shower in 2 months.
Nigga, you will
they have never
origin of
even
the city
touched a
bats.
girl. I'm pretty sure if they even get 10 feet near a girl, that's a restraining order on site. Y'all looking mad weak out here with these corny ass theories. The best thing you could do after that is take your L and convert to Hori or Jesus or both, because y'all need some fucking saving, boy.